Yeah, I think they're getting it wrong.
Because I got one too. I got one.
For sure. Yo, what's going on, guys? Hopefully you guys are out there in the real world and not getting blinded by, like Oscar De La Hoya says, the facts. And the facts are you gotta go get your ass out there and vote. You gotta vote for whatever you feel is right in terms of this country as a whole, not just your individual need, but also your individual need, because it's very when you voting is very subjective, right? It's not so much about being impartial. It's about, looking out for yourself. But like the $1, $100, $20, $5 bill say, the e pluribus, you have to think about the whole part, not just the sum, right? Not just the ego I. You have to look at it, what's best for the country, and also, from your egotistical standpoint, what's best for me to keep more money into my pockets. So you should essentially be voting no on all of those propositions.
Pocket.
Don't vote for the thing to better the schools, okay? Because they're dumbing down education system. The standards to graduate, the classes, the teachers. No, YouTube is probably the best source of education, and then there's nothing like the real world. Until you start changing the curriculum and not this shenanigans, then that's when I'll start incentivizing and putting more money into taxes so they can better the schools. But nah, man, these schools, these public school systems, a joke. So all these props got no. The only one that I got a yes for is if you get locked up, right? Uh, they're gonna put your ass to work. And I like that. Don't give the people that commit these crimes or criminals or petty crimes or thefts or whatever, get them back to, if you're trying to rehabilitate them and get them back into, modern citizens, and get their ass to work. They did the time, they did the crime, do the time by putting in labor and free of charge. If they're gonna get free dental, psych meds, and all of these things, that shit ain't free, and that's coming out of my pockets. You get what I'm saying? So put those motherfuckers out to work, clean the streets, plant some trees, all that type of shit, man. Fuck all that. So that's the one that I put vote. And then who you vote as for like your districts and your presidents, well, that's all up to you, man. Like I said last time, I didn't vote for any of these presidents. I don't respect either of the two. They're both fucking clowns. And these motherfuckers don't know nothing about policy. If you got the orange man going up against the deep state, respect to him. I don't really believe him because he's part of it. And then, but he funds out of his own pockets. And as for Kamala Harris, nah. Give me my boy Joe Brown back in there. But what up, Joe? How you been, brother? How you been?
Yo, what's up, man? How you been?
Man, I got a little sick on. I went running about like 4 or 5 miles on Monday, and I went running on midday, and it was nice and sunny, but there was a little bit of a breeze, and it was a cold breeze, and I thought I was inhaling through my nose, exhaling through my mouth, but I guess I, probably got a little too much cold wind that I ended up getting like a very sore throat. And Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it started to get to like my ear infection type of thing. So my ears sounded popped and hollow. And when I drank my tea and my remedios, Thermoflu, té de manzanita with ginger and lemon, it was very hard for me to maintain food to go down and not throw it up. And then the gargajos, right, the loogies, and the strep throat, all of these things it was very taxing, so as the weather changes, that's kind of what I've been dealing with. But obviously, man, it felt pretty good. The morale at the house is pretty good. Parents are happy because the Dodgers won the World Series, and so it's in the up, so it was pretty good. Halloween happened. I had to work on Halloween, but my niece and my girl, they decorated the house relatively pretty good, and I think they had like, I think we only have like 10 little bags of chocolates left, and they might have had like 150. So I guess they were saying that a lot of people stopped by, which is pretty cool. um but yeah, man. How you been, brother?
Good, man. Just working, man. You know, just fucking grinding. You know, but yeah, man. I just Yeah, I don't even
Oh,
know
you
what to
got a
say.
new haircut, bro.
Yeah, I was trying to think, like, because we're just talking right now for a minute, but
Yeah.
um, nah, I mean that was like a couple weeks ago, bro. That was a couple weeks
Oh,
ago.
okay, okay.
Yeah, that was a
I
couple
thought
weeks
it
ago.
was like today or something.
I'm a little raggedy right now, but it's all good. Yeah, man.
I feel you,
What's up
man.
with these fights, man? Happening today?
Before we start talking about that, man, tell me
What?
about the business with your shirts, bro. You know, you want to spill
Not
the
yet,
beans a
not
little bit,
yet,
or no, not yet.
not yet.
Okay,
Like,
okay, for
yeah,
sure. I'll shut my trap on that. Salute to
yeah.
you. Happy Saturday and happy weekend to you, the Mexican G. Behind closed doors, all politicians are the same. Dude, I couldn't have said that better myself. I agree. What the hell? How come that message doesn't show up?
What
He goes,
message?
these politicians don't give a about us. The sooner people realize this, the better. They have us working class Americans at each other throats over some bullshit. Behind closed doors, all politicians are the same. You know what's very weird is when I go to YouTube, because I have two dual screens. I have it on my personal laptop where you can see all this display. This
Mm.
shows me on Stream East, on StreamYard, all of the messages. But when I go to YouTube and I'm looking at the stream, top chat in the chat room, it doesn't even show that message right there, which is fucking weird. Like I don't have no censorship, but I guess YouTube censors its own algorithm and their own things, and then StreamYard doesn't. So that's pretty cool. In regards to StreamYard, YouTube, major conglomerate, they're gonna do whatever it is that they want to do, political for advertising and stuff like that. So their platform, their rules, and we gotta abide by them. But be that as it may, the Mexican G love the commentary, brother. Happy Saturday to you. Hopefully everything's going well. You got some interviews and stuff. I think last week that you spoke a little bit about, you decided to take matters into your own hands and say, hasta la vista, baby, looking elsewhere. So hopefully everything's going well, man. Hopefully you're not running into Sergio Roma and Sergio Romo. No, wait, Sergio Mora and the swap meets, ready to deck him, bro. Can you say something? No, I don't know if you was joking or
Yeah,
or are you just like being serious, But
yeah.
salute to you, Mexican G. It's always a pleasure to have you, man. But yeah, Drew, you want to talk about a little bit of these boxing fights, man? So let's get straight to it. Golden Boy and Top Rank are having a really good, very interesting fights this today, and I think Pro Box had some either Thursday or Friday or Wednesday, as they did. I missed those. Did you watch any of the Pro Box fights in the midweek, Drew, or did you miss them as well?
Yeah, no, I missed those. I missed those. Yeah, I couldn't get around it. I was working at the time, man. So, yeah, I heard yeah, JoJo, that wasn't the one with JoJo, right? JoJo fights later, right?
As in JoJo Diaz?
Yeah, because I
I
seen
don't, I
something
don't
where
know. I don't know.
okay, never mind then. And I think it was just a commercial or like a little advertisement about him. But yeah, because he just got signed by ProBox. But
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
no
no,
longer with
I didn't.
Golden Boy, huh?
Yeah, I guess so, bro. I mean, he had a feeling, bro. Like that was his
Yeah.
last fight. That was like they did him a favor with the Oscar Duarte fight, bro. So,
Yeah, no, that's very true. I know before the Oscar Duarte fight, there was I know JoJo was like, man, in a post-fight conference, where he thought he won the fight. He was like, man, this is some bullshit. He was like, oh man, my girl's texting me. Hold on. It was like he was like, this is some bullshit, man. Like, I'm sick and tired of these people getting robbed. Me, and he was like blasting Golden Boy and all of these stuff. And then the
yeah,
next fight was Duarte, where he got stopped. But even then, after Duarte, I think Oscar gave him like two more fights. But it just, JoJo is in the downside of his career and his reluctancy to fight at 130 and less. Like JoJo is not a big guy. He's not a big puncher. He shouldn't be fighting at 135, 140. And that's where this dude wants to compete. Like, bro, you weren't even a puncher at 126. You couldn't stop my fellow uh Monterey Bay Area dude, Manuel Tino Avila at 122, 126. What you going? You got the skills to compete against 140 pounders, 135, but you ain't the puncher like that, man. But I felt like JoJo was very I respect JoJo. I love his skills. But ever since that thing with like the minor and social media and the Gary Russell fight, you can see his morale. He was being like demoralized, and he was like going through a lot of stuff and drinking and stuff. So, JoJo, I like JoJo, bro, cool ass dude. But at the same time, as a boxer, but as a person and like outside of the ring, bro. You got to be disciplined, bro. You got to abstain from a lot of things and just train. And also felt like he always needed a different trainer other than his father, and that reluctancy to seek outside help, not just within your pops. And I thought his pops did extremely well. His father was hella honest, but it's like, bro, you gotta lock in. And Jojo wasn't locking in. The fact that he couldn't stay down 130, he should be fighting guys like Emmanuel Navarrete and Oscar Valdez. That's who Jojo could possibly be. You know, fucking up at 135, 140, 147. Like, bro, you just asking to get yourself blasted and knocked out. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. The Mexican G. A lot of people lost respect to him, when he started talking to minors. But yeah, man. But shout out to Pro Box. Maybe they can rejuvenate his career. Be completely honest with him. Now I don't know if Pro Box, if all of there is they're you know all they do is televise, right? They just give you access to a platform. I don't know if they necessarily match make or promote events other than just be the distributor. But shout out to JoJo, man, and hopefully Pro Box can do something back to his career. But yeah, man, if JoJo don't want to go down to 126 and fight guys, at that weight class, anything 135 and above, you got the skills to compete and hang, but you're never gonna win at those weight classes. It's just the facts of the matter. But yeah, I'm not too sure about the JoJo situation. I don't know when he's fighting again. But yeah, man, today's fights, a lot of amazing fights, and I think they're gonna be a lot of upsets. Floyd Schofield, the young 22 out of Fort Worth, Texas, or Houston, Texas, he's fighting
San
Rene
Antonio.
Giron Deyes, right?
Right.
And on paper, you look at this guy and you're like, man, this Mexican has lost 3 fights, but he's lost to 3 pretty good fighters that have more experience and have more boxing IQ, trap setting, right? Punch placement, than Floyd Schofield, right? Guys like Michel Rivera, he's pretty good, pretty crafty. He's not all that, but he's pretty crafty. And then Rene Gironte, also lost to not only Michel Rivera, but he lost to um, Romero, and then he lost to Giovanni Cabrera. Now, Giovanni Cabrera, again, this guy is crafty, right? And that's these guys that are like outboxers, have arm length and stuff like that. These are guys that have beaten Deyes, but they've never really beaten him where he's always like a one-sided beating. I don't believe so. And this guy, let me see, I think I have a video right here. Okay, this is Floyd Schofield. Oh, man, I had it on my desktop. But Floyd Schofield is like Golden Boy's version of Sean Porter, right? He's very athletic, very physically strong, very dedicated. They have their charm, but when it comes down to, I'm talking about the early Sean Porter, not the veteran Sean Porter where he started getting crafty and I'm talking about the early Sean Porter where he was lunging with all his might and throwing these, Emmanuel Navarrete punches from outside, the standard, and leaving his feet, chin up in the air and stuff like that. That's Floyd Schofield. Deyes, yo, bro, hold on, man. I gotta clear my fucking throat. This is
Yeah,
annoying.
go ahead, man. Yeah, man. Yes, bro. This guy is saying, nah, I'm not sure. I was gonna say everything you were gonna say right now, but I'll let you say it, man, because I don't feel as strongly as you know. Um, but yeah, man, one of my upsets, um, and let me cook, Rick. Let me cook. Look, one of my upsets today. So I got Harold Calderon over Eric Tudor. I think that one right there that's an upset right there. Um, Calderon's like a really rugged fighter. Like he knows how to smother you. I think Eric Tudor is fighting at 154, but he's got a 147 body, 147 power. Um, he's not that clean of a fighter as far as his defense. It's not that it's not that great, like his hand placement ain't that good. He's just a strong dude and he's athletic, so um and he's tall. He's lengthy. So, um, man, I didn't watch any of his fights, and I decided to like bet on this dude when he fought. When did he fight? I forgot who he fought. Um, he got an upset though, or he got upset. I mean, um, Eric Tudor. Like I remember, it was funny though, right? The odds had messed up. Bovada messed up on one of his fights, and what's it called? Like one of his fights were actually like he was actually the underdog, plus 500, right? And I was like, oh, what? They got it wrong. And then I was like, damn. And then next thing you know, they switched it like an hour prior to the fight. They switched it to him being the favorite, but by like 1,000. And then I was
Man,
like, damn. I was like, damn, they came up. Like whoever came up on plus 500, they came up fat. And I actually caught the odds at plus 200. So I put like 100 on it, just because it was like they fucked up. So I was like, fuck, that's free money right there. And this dude ended up losing to Jose Luis Sanchez. Uh, and this guy's a tough fighter, bro.
and you're
He's
talking
a-
about Eric Tudor, huh?
yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah, yeah. He actually gave Jai Tucker a tough fight. And yeah, bro, like he's actually a game fighter, bro. Like he's not, he's a solid like journeyman. But yeah, dude, he ended up losing that fight, and I was like, damn, man, like somebody knew something, you know, somebody had a hunch. But that's
Yeah.
my upset, bro. Harold Calderon.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
good one, man, for sure. I think on paper they have it relatively close as well, where they're not giving Eric Tudor, like you said, a plus 500 or a minus 1,000 odds.
yeah,
He's good fighter, but he's like down the line, and
yeah.
he can get peppered with shots. But yeah, man, my two big upsets that I think are gonna happen. Come on, bro, don't start with this cough, bro.
Chill.
So
Get some
fucking
cough
good.
drops, bro.
Nah, man, the sugar on the cough chops kills me, bro.
Really?
Um,
That's supposed to soothe you, man.
yeah, nah,
Drink
fuck,
something hot.
man. I was hope, whatever. So I'll try to grind it out. But yeah, Darius Fulghum, another kid from Texas. I think this guy is like a certified nurse.
Mm,
And he's fighting this guy named Christopher Pearson with a record of, for those that don't know, Darius Fulghum is 12-0 with 10 KOs, right? And he's fighting this guy named Christopher Pearson, who's 17-4. Now, Christoph Pearson, he's been knocked out like 2 or 3 times, but the people that have knocked him out are pretty good fucking fighters. Guys
mm,
like Carlos Gongora. For those that don't know Gongora, he's like a Colombian or Ecuadorian, and he's really good. And when he fought him, he was undefeated, 19-0. Gongora. Now Gongora recently just fought against an Argentinian named Lester Martinez on Pro Box, if I'm not mistaken. So for
mm,
those that know who these names are, then you know that they're tough, big punchers, incredible fighters. Triple G had a fighter. He was undefeated, and he was training him under his Triple G Promotions banner and promoting him and all of these things. And
mm,
Carlos Gongora knocked him out.
mm,
So for this guy that Darius Fulghum is fighting, Christopher Pearson, Pearson, my only problem is this. Bro, you have good defense. You can take punches because he also fought that guy that Caleb Plant just knocked out. And that's
mm.
the other guy that knocked this guy, Christoph Pearson, out, right? Trevor McCumbee. Anyway, Christoph Pearson, he's good, he's tough, durable, and the only problem is, bro, let your fucking hands go. You got good power on that number 2 from a southpaw stance. Fling it, bro. And he just likes to shell up.
Mm.
Luckily for him, Darius Fulghum doesn't throw a lot of quality punches. He touches that. He tries to be nice, clean cut, and cute, right? And if this dude Pearson just lets his punches go, I think he'll knock out Fulghum.
Wow.
I think he'll knock him out.
Really?
Like the Mexican G says, I've never been impressed with Floyd Schofield. I've been impressed with him as a prospect. I'm not impressed with him in the sense that There's guys like from Bakersfield, California, Joel Iriarte, you know, guys like Tiger Johnson, que es el otro, Abdullah Mason, Emiliano Vargas. I'm not impressed with Floyd Schofield in that aspect. To sit in the pocket, you know, block punches, counter punch, set up traps. Floyd Schofield in this video, let me actually go right here. Now, this is his last fight, if I'm not mistaken. It became a no contest because the dude Esteudi Suero, you know, he started like picking up, dipping Floyd Schofield because all of this is instigated by how dirty Floyd Schofield fights, like Sean Porter. There's a reason why Sean Porter would get into a lot of headbutt clashes. Same thing with Floyd Schofield cutting up his cheeks. It's because they don't sit on their feet. They use a lot of athleticism and their strength to blitz you, to bully you, right? And they smother their work. Floyd Schofield, like Sean Porter, do that early in their careers, right? And they don't know any better. When if you just stay calm, small little steps, and then just hip and you twist and turn and quality of your punches, you don't need to lunge and shit. Anyway, but as you see right here in these clips, you know, look how much pressure that he's putting. And he becomes very sloppy where you lose all leverage and you get dipped. And a guy can get underneath you and they dip you because you're lunging. Where if you're flat-footed, more planted on your feet, it doesn't allow for these little things to happen. Let me see. Let me go
So
back.
you think he knocks him out?
So when you're lunging like this, look at your chin. It's all up in the air, right? Chin is all up in the air. You have no square balance on your feet.
Look at
You're
that.
not in a great position to receive a punch, let alone block a punch, right? Now, let me show you guys Rene Giron-Tellez. Now, from a boxing standpoint, Carlos Valderas, right? I never really liked him, but for those that know, he was a guy that dropped Teofimo Lopez in sparring and essentially out of the ring a couple of times. And this guy ended up going to the Olympians and Olympic Games, and he got bronze, or he was doing really good in upsetting a lot of people as an alternate. And so there was a lot of like momentum and hype. And I remember that Golden Boy tried to get him, but this guy was bad-mouthing Golden Boy, and he went to the PBC. So if I scroll down into the comment section like 2-3 years ago, I'm like, felt good seeing Valderas get knocked out. All the bad-mouthing on Oscar De La Hoya. I remember this shit, you know? And look, man, I don't know, maybe because I'm Mexican-American or whatever the case may be, but I have in my household and my parents and stuff, we have a lot of respect for Oscar De La Hoya. I'm not saying that he can do no wrong. I'm just saying that, you know, what the dude stands for and what he's accomplished from his professional career and even able to allocate his assets, his money, and be really resourceful to helping people back into his community of East Los and all that stuff, bro, that's like what everybody would love to do, right? And I'm not saying that he's perfect or he's not a POS or whatever the case may be, but I'm just saying, like, I will always put my fucking hero cape and I'm gonna defend Oscar. You know what I mean? Now, when he's wrong, he's wrong. Like, I'm just calling down the fucking line, like, nah. But I think today he might get it wrong, and 2 of his fighters might just get beat. So yeah, Drew, to your point, those little moments of how Schofield leaves himself unprepared to receive shots. This is not how you throw punches. Also, you know, with all that might, it's not needed. You're forcing the knockout, and when you try to force things like that, you're usually in a bad receiver to receive these punches, and you're gonna get maybe knocked out yourself. Well, Giron-Tellez, he's really good. He's like Venado Lopez, right? And he's like Pitbull Cruz. This dude is a fucking force, bro. He's strong. So guys that are athletic, like Floyd Schofield or like G Squad, G Nation, Gabriel Flores, when he fought Venado Lopez, this is gonna be Floyd Schofield's toughest fight. And where he might just get knocked out if he doesn't correct those mistakes. If Floyd continues to fight the way he does and not correct those mistakes, he's getting knocked out tonight.
Damn.
That's just the way I look at it, you know, because yes, is a good quality puncher. He has his limitations. He's also shorter in nature, but when it comes down throwing to power, bro, this is Pitbull Cruz.
Right hand by Valderas. Body work there. Valderas again. Look with his right hand up. So that was smart.
The Schofield don't box like that. Oh my god. Damn.
I'm telling you, this dude throws nice 6s and 3s. He goes low to end up high. He goes high to end up low. It's fantastic. And Floyd Schofield can add this to his repertoire. And I'm sure that he's looking at the film studies and he's going to use his lateral movement. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But this is where he's going to be, quote unquote, his toughest fight.
I
And
got one
Golden Boy
question.
knows this. He knows that he's going to be in a tough fight. So, and Golden Boy, he normally puts his fighters in tough fights, but you know they will always have the edge.
I got a question.
Yes, sir. Talk to me.
Which one do you think is more likely to happen? This upset or the Darius Fulghum upset?
Both.
Ah, come on, give me one.
Hey, I put money on the line for both.
Really? What?
Yeah, man. I have this parlay to win $5,000. Oh, come on. How you gonna log me out, bro? I put $3 to win $5,000.
Damn.
Now this is gonna be crazy, but
Yeah.
this is just the way I look at it. I put Gabriela Fondora to go by decision against La Chucky Alanis.
Mm.
She might win by knockout.
What?
Not Alanis, but Gabriela Fondora, Sebastian Fondora's sister. But I've seen her. She's fought in Marlon Esparza, her opponent, the girl from Argentina.
Mhm.
And but I think Fondora will win by decision. There's a guy on Top Rank. His name is Jan Santana. I don't know if you
Mm.
remember this name, but his name is Eduardo Baez. He was
Yeah.
fighting and beating Emmanuel Navarrete, and then Navarrete finds a left hook to the liver, and Baez goes down.
Mhm.
I put Santana to win by knockout because he's like 12-0 with 11 knockouts, and he looks like the goods. But Eduardo Baez could be tough enough to withstand his power
Yeah.
and go the distance. I went for Christoph Pearson to win by decision or just to win in general. I
Mhm.
want to put him by knockout, but that's the only one I'm a little hesitant because his inability to let his fucking punches go, bro. Like
Mm.
when you look at him, it's like, bro, how you gonna let a dude pop off 30 punches off you? You block almost like 27 of them. Hit, bro, throw something. And he'll lay there. And it's just like, all right, bro, like I know you're tough. And maybe he's smarter and he's just like, nah, this dude ain't gonna knock me in the first round. I'm just gonna block, let him tire out, and then work later. You know, try to steal the round. But you know,
It's
Darius Fulghum is gonna be with Golden Boy. So if it goes to decision, I'm sure no one's gonna cry and be like, hey man, you guys robbed Pearson, a 17-4 fighter, over a prospect, you know. That one's where I'm a little hesitant on.
so doing
René Tejon Giron, then this fight, René Tellez.
Mhm.
I want to be, I'm like 65% confident that he can knock out Floyd Schofield, bro.
Is that more than Pearson winning?
Yeah, I think Pearsall has like a 70 chance of winning, but I'm gonna go with the other guy. I mean, that's why I put this bet. I didn't put major dollars, bro. I put $3 because it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bet. So the bully Melikuziev, I put him to knock out David Stevens, right? That's minus 300. I went Fondora to win by decision. I went Abraham Nova to win by knockout against Humberto Galindo. Santana by knockout, and then my two upsets were Deyes by KO and Christopher Pearson. So the other ones are favored, but those are the ones that I went with, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you wanted to just keep it simple, you know, instead of a 5 or 7, you know, you can do a 2, you know, and I'm gonna put Fulghum to lose, just up and down, no really detail by knockouts, because when you get very specific, it's very difficult. But if you got $1 or 2 and you can win fucking $500, why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, man. Yeah, dude. So it sounds to me like the Giron fight is more likely to. I mean, Giron upset is more likely to happen, bro.
I
Like
think so, and
just
maybe
looking at the tape footage with you, I'm like, damn, I see it, bro. Like that's a good eye you have. Like that's true, bro. Like he lunges so much, bro. And that's what I try to do with Berlanga sometimes. I'm like, dude, Berlanga lunges so much. He's so easy to go down. Like, I don't know how Canelo didn't knock him out, So, but if you do footage again on Berlanga, you see him clean it up. Like he literally
correct.
like he cleaned it up against Canelo. Like he didn't do any of those things that he was showing us prior to this last fight. So you never know. A fighter can actually see it and make the correct changes, so but I see with which Schofield, bro. Like he just seems like with this train of thought, like it don't seem like he's willing to like switch up his style for anyone, you know? Like
Yeah, correct.
that's who he is type of thing, you
And
know? So,
maybe you can say he doesn't need to switch up his style, Rick, because like he's fighting dudes that he can beat. So he doesn't need to be cerebral and utilize another thing. And I'm just saying, like, even if even if that's the case, you don't go in there reckless.
mhm.
You know, like man, you better you better check yourself before you wreck yourself. Like these are habits that I think. I mean, what's Floyd Schofield's record? Like 12-0, 15-0.
Uh,
He's very young. You know what I mean? So, in almost all of his fights, if you go back to his first round, his first couple rounds, his first couple fights in his pro career, 17 fights, 15 fights later down the road, nothing has changed. It's exactly the same thing. The quality of opposition is significantly increasing, but he's still making those tactical mistakes from footwork to overcompensating with punches. And you don't have to because you hit hard naturally. So why are you adding like more explosion towards it? That's a good recipe to tire yourself out, to leave yourself exposed and compromised. And
mhm,
there's this fighter, like even this aspect right here in this still image. You have Carlos Valderas. He's probably gonna pop a 6'3", right? The
mhm.
uppercut looks too coming. He's already throwing an uppercut from his fucking hip, so you already know it's power. But if the yes just throws a looping two or a two straight up the middle, the straight punch is gonna beat the hook. And look at Valderas's lead hand. It's to his tit, bro, leaving your
Right.
face like. And look at the yes. He's balanced, staggered, leaning down, and he's gonna pop you.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I see it,
Look at
bro.
that, and he blocks everything.
Yeah. Oof.
What I watch 6'3", and he's already rolling with the punches. Boom, he pops his own six, which he misses. Carlos Balderas goes to a shoulder roll. He throws a left hook to the arm. It throws another, and he sneaks in the left hook. That type of right there in fighting, Floyd Schofield doesn't have in his game, and he's yet to show us that, right? So I don't expect him to try to do that. Now I'm gonna say this: the yes hasn't really been in there with big ass punchers.
Mhm.
Okay, like Michel Rivera, he's not a big puncher. He's crafty. He's long. That's the Muhammad Ali kid that from like Panama that tries to fight like him and wears the outlets and the shorts and the trunks and tries to have that same type of buzz cut. And then Giovanni Cabrera, even though he knocked down Gabe Flores like 4 or 5 times in the first round, he's not really that big of a puncher, and he fights very upright, very tall. But that's still good to beat guys like Alan Pierce and whatever the case, or Elijah Pierce, sorry. So this guy right here, yeah, bro, I just think that Floyd Schofield might just lose if he's not used to fighting guys with this level of toughness and grit.
Mm.
And yeah, man, it's gonna be very interesting. Again, I'm not saying this dude is a world beater, but I'm saying that Rene, there's a lot of things that you like in for Tellez to be able to upset the athletic, young-minded 22-year-old of Floyd Schofield. See, Floyd is 22 years old. Tellez is 25, right? So they're roughly the same age, roughly the same prime. One guy has 4 times level the experience, not the amount of fights, but Floyd Schofield don't have no Michelle Rivera in his resume. He don't have no Miguel Cabrera,
Mhm.
and he doesn't have he doesn't have a lot. Floyd Schofield, like his
Mhm.
best fight was probably like Roger Gutierrez or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think this is one of those things where like Golden Boy matchmakers or Golden Boy himself, he's putting Floyd Schofield in his first true test. And we're gonna see if the young 22-year-old can, pass it with flying colors. Because Carlos Balderas, bro, he could not. He
Yeah,
could
dude.
not.
And that
Very,
was that dude's a skilled fighter too, bro. Like he should have easily got that dub, bro. But he just left his fucking chin in there. Damn, dude, that's crazy, bro.
I
So this guy
know.
really packing punch, bro.
Yeah,
So it's just he don't seem like he's like move his head a lot, you know? Like it don't seem like he's gonna be capable of maneuvering through Floyd's shots, bro, because Floyd's a big hitter, but hopefully his hand placement's good enough, you know.
If
Like,
Floyd Schofield's the truth, in the manner, if he's able to knock out Giron Tellez with proper punch technique, nice balanced footwork, in the pocket work, then we know Floyd Schofield is legit. But as of right now, I'm doubting the young man's skills. I know the dude's athletic. You know, he probably, runs 4.3, 4.4, maybe can dunk, probably can hit a baseball. I know he's athletic. I'm not questioning, from a genetic standpoint, like, oh man, what are you talking about? This dude's footwork, he can switch. No. I know he can do that. But fighting, you don't need to do none of that. In boxing, it's very basic, very rudimentary. You got to be tough, disciplined, patient, set up traps, punch technique, and that's the type of stuff that IQ. I don't think Floyd Schofield has it at 22 over Tellez. And the quality of work, the tough matchmaking that Rene Giron Tellez has been through, Floyd Schofield is barely getting it right now. And I don't know if he's going to pass this test, man. I think it could be very detrimental, especially if he's not fixing these mistakes where he lunges like Sean Porter and he's leaving his feet. You get hit with a 4, boom, like that kid Ashton Style, H2O from Jake Paul. Huh. If that kid could get knocked out, I don't see why this guy wouldn't be able to,
Yeah.
So that's one of the big upsets that I think that'll happen tonight. Again,
knockout?
Yeah, I think so. I think Floyd Schofield will try to move, circle around, and not try to go toe-to-toe. But it's going to be interesting to see if Giron can catch him. If he does, and they start to get, exchanges, oh, man, I think it can be very detrimental work for Floyd Schofield, where his offense is going to leave uncompromised. Now, again, Floyd Schofield has power on his own, so he can catch Rene Giron Tellez with a left hook. Conversely, I will say this. Schofield is probably the strongest opponent that Giron has faced. Not the best quality opponent, but I think he's probably stronger than Michel Rivera, probably stronger than Giovanni Cabrera. And then, I don't know, Tellez has a third fighter that he's lost to. But, Romero. So, I'm sure that Schofield hits harder than all of those guys. But, we're going to have to see. But I'm willing to put a little bit of money that he might lose, And then Daruis Fulghum, yeah, I mean, I just don't really believe in the young man's skills. I think he had a last fight, not with Alan Tess Fox, but it was like a guy who was like close to 40 years old, and he was really reluctant, bro, to like let quality punches go. He would just like shoulder roll, and he would just Peter patting jabs. I'm like, bro, you look strong, you big as hell. Why are you punching like that? You know what I mean? You're afraid of the return fire. And if you're afraid like that, that means you can't really take a punch. You want to look cute. You want to look pretty, go to the club afterwards. I don't see the dedication as a fighter. And I think this is like a prospect that Bernard Hopkins brought in. But, I'll be rooting for these dudes for sure. So I'm not like rooting for their downfall, but I'm just saying as a betting man, I got to try to find those like minute little fights where like maybe these guys can get it wrong. And you put $5 to, win the
Damn, bro. Honestly, dude, I see his I'm looking at his resume, bro. Like his resume is kind of suspect, bro. Like
Fulghum?
Yeah, Fulghum.
Yeah.
It's a little suspect, but his last 2 fights, I mean, Vaughn Alexander, he goes the distance with anybody.
Yes, he's good. He's good.
Yeah, he's just gonna shell up and just fucking go the whole distance if he has to, but Christian Olivas, 10 fucking losses, bro. Like, but he knocked him out, but and he's only been knocked out one other time other than that, so it says something, but I mean, I'm looking at his I'm just looking at the ones that he went the distance with, right? Alantez Fox, 28 and 28-6. He's gotten knocked out before, but not by Fulghum. Bazian, obviously, I'm not surprised, but Melakuviev, what's his name? Melakuviev. He knocked him out. So yeah, I mean, it's a little suspect, bro. So it's just I don't know too much about Christopher Pearson, but he looks lengthy or 6 foot. He's got knocked out before.
Yeah.
But
he's been knocked out by like really good fighters, bro. Guys like Carlos Gongora, don't sleep on that dude. I'm telling you, that dude Carlos Gongora, he's really good, bro. And then Trevor McCumbee, you saw his skills. He was able to drop Caleb Plant twice. You know, so those
Yeah.
are the two dudes that were able to knock this dude out. You know what I mean? And Carlos Gongora, he just fought Lester Martinez, right, on Pro Box. Go watch that fight. Very good fight. Also lost to Christian and Billy, but they went all the distance. And then he knocked out Ali Akhmedov. Again, this guy was 16-0. This is the first time I ever heard of Carlos Gongora. Carlos Gongora fought this Triple G fighter, Ali or Aki Akhmedov, right? And this dude was just hitting Carlos Gongora with some, like, his strongest punches. And Gongora was calm, bro. He was right there in the pocket. And just little by little, throwing these little nice counter uppercuts and hooks. And Aki was like, let's say Aki was throwing like 100 punches around, landing 80% of it. Let's just say, right? Gongora just took it, bro. It was like boom, boom. And then, you know, Aki was getting exhausted. And then Gongora was like, I'm still here, bro. Huh, you blew your watch early, young buck. Let me show you. And boom, left hook, uppercut. And then he knocked him out. And that was a nasty old knockout and a huge upset, bro. Like, if you put like $50, you probably win like 700 type shit. So that's Carlos Gongora. And then that guy, Trevor McCumbee, you saw what he was able to do with Caleb Plant. So the guy that beating this dude, Joe Johnson, knocked him out, or Deshaun Johnson, is nowhere near what Darius Fulghum is. Again, my only, you know, concession with this dude, Christopher Pearson, is, bro, let your fucking hands go, bro. Darius Fulghum, you know, he's not that dude. You can easily win this fight and get another rematch hit, get a higher paycheck. Like, it's there. Let me try to find you some footage on it so you can be like, oh, okay, I see what you're talking about.
And this guy also beat Yamaguchi, bro, Falco.
Yeah, Yamaguchi Falcao. I forgot about that, bro. You're right.
Yeah, and he was 16-0 at the time. So he went the distance. He went the distance with him. I mean, that dude went to, isn't he a gold medalist?
Well, I think there's Falcao's. There's two or three of them. And I think Yamaguchi Falcao is the brother of the other one, the gold medalist that you're thinking of. But I think they're all related and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, so I like what I see. You know, Carlos Gongora, is he that dude?
He's pretty fucking good, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, he's good, bro. Like, you know,
So,
I mean,
yeah. Just Darius Fulghum looks like a stiff dude. Like, he doesn't move around too much. So I mean, dude, man, I want to fucking put so much money on this shit.
Nah, don't put so much money, because again, one thing about, like Eddie Hearn said in a recent interview, right, when it was talking about Golden Boy, is that he goes, Golden Boy doesn't put their fighters, like, everyone's talking about me going 0-14, but that's because Golden Boy, they don't put their fighters in real fights, okay? And that's true. Like, if we're talking about like this, Oscar Duarte, right, was giving Ryan Garcia good work. And those guys are big 140 pounders. Jojo Diaz versus Oscar Duarte, that's not a real fight. Because, like, Jojo Diaz is not big at 140. You know, he's probably a dude that should be fighting at 130 pounds and below that weight, you know. He's got the skills to compete and look good, but that's not really a real fight. Another fight, you have William Camarón Cepeda fighting on the Latino night, Mexican night over there in Saudi Arabia, and he's fighting Tevin Farmer. That's not a real fight, bro. Like, what I mean by, I like Tevin Farmer, I like his skills, but he hasn't really been, like, he's barely going life and death with Jojo Diaz.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's not really a real fight where you're like, okay, that's on par with Katie Taylor and Chantel Cameron. That, like, those are true 50-50 fights.
Well,
and
he did go the distance. He did go the distance.
Correct. He did go the distance. Yeah. But watch, this is Pearson, bro.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were talking about. I thought you were talking about Tevin Farmer. That you're just using that as an example.
Correct.
Okay, my bad. Yeah. Yeah, Pearson, bro. So I like it, bro. And he's beating undefeated dudes. I like what I see, man. It's just, you know, yeah, I probably like a solid $20-$30 on each one, you know.
Wait, hold on. Let me see what a parlay like that looks like. Let's see. Go all sports, go boxing. Let's say I just did those two fights.
Because I also think Calderon's gonna fucking
beat
Eric Tudor by decision, bro.
Okay, so René Tellez Giron. Okay, this is the way I look at bets, guys. This is the way I look at bets. So Floyd Schofield is fighting this gentleman that you see on screen, René Tellez. This is a 60-40, 50-50 fight. And in favor, I'm actually favoring Tellez. He's got the better resume. He's older, much more experience, is the better overall quality of fighter. Okay. Floyd Schofield might be more athletic, might have the hype, might have the internal promotion, but he's also 21 years old. You're not a finished product at 21 years old. This dude isn't Tank Davis at 21 years old, beating guys like the Puerto Rican, is it El Pelon ese that ended up going to like 135, 140? Christopher Diaz? No, not Christopher Diaz. He fought Lomachenko and all of those dudes.
Who? Say it again.
When Tank became a champion for the first time, what was the Puerto Rican's name that he knocked out?
He fought. He also fought.
Pedraza.
Yeah, my bad. He fought.
Okay, so Floyd Schofield is not no Tank Davis. So when I tell you that he's strong, but he doesn't have the quality in fighting, power work, footwork, defense, he leaves himself compromised. Tank don't really leave himself compromised.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm drawing a blank. Schofield does.
Yeah.
You see? And when you look at these odds, they have him at René plus 750. This should be like a minus 250 for Schofield, plus 150 for Giron Tellez. Bro, that's plus 750. I'll take that. And then you have the other kid, right? Daruis Fulghum fighting Christoph Pearson. I just told you those 4 losses that Christoph Pearson has. Trevor McCumbee, who knocked down Caleb Plant a couple of times and was beating Caleb Plant. But then he showed that he didn't have no inside game. Carlos Gongora went the distance with Christian and Billy. Lester Martinez knocked out Triple G's fighter, Ali Akhmedov, right? Bro, they have Christoph Pearson and Daruis Fulghum minus 2,000 plus 900. And let's go with your boy Eric Tudor, right? Versus Harold Calderon. I don't know who Calderon is, but this is how they have it. Minus 210 and plus 160 in favor of, minus 210 in favor of Eric Tudor, plus 160 for Harold Calderon. So they almost have it at a 1-to-1 ratio. Those 3 fights, you put $10, you win 2,200.
Damn.
I'll show you, bro. I'll show you my account. Hold on. Let me log into the codes and stuff. Hold on. That's what I'm saying. Like that dude, that's stupid money. Now again, those are 3 upsets. It's very Golden Boy. Like again, they don't really put their fighters in real fights. But today, those are 3 fucking fights. Even Gabriela Fundora, Sebastian Fundora's sister, she's in a real good fight, bro.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that chick is like 6'1", so she's tall as hell. But hold on.
But she's also. Oh, you're talking about Gabriela?
Yeah. She's
no,
young, but the other girl is, she's 28, got experience, so they're doing well. Hold on. So yeah, I just funded my account a little bit of dollars. But look, hold on. Nothing too crazy. So I'll go here, boxing. So let's go. Oh, Jordan Fuentes, shout out to him. He fights today. Eric Tudor, so plus 160. Let's go with. Okay.
You know that was gonna happen.
Let's go with Joel Iriarte. He's really good, bro. Bakersfield. He has this badass amateur fight, bro, with Abdullah Mason. He knocked down Abdullah Mason twice, I think, and Abdullah Mason dropped him once. Check it out, bro. I'll try to find it right now. Floyd Schofield, Tellez, and who was the other guy? It was Daruis Fulghum. You see the odds at plus 22,000. Let's say you put $10, bro. You win 2,200. Like, I'm not saying put your life savings on it. I'm just saying if you got a little bit of money on that Bovada account, sprinkle a little bit of miracle dust and you're gonna get that shit. Like,
I might just go more specifics, bro. And try to get more.
This is just again, this is like trying to win the lottery, but there's rational thinking and film studying analysis behind it. I'm not just be like, hey, dude, put this all, like, nah, like I'm gonna be like, okay, Floyd Schofield is a favorite, but he should not be favored by minus 1,500. Daruis Fulghum, in no world is that kid that good to be minus 2,200 over anybody.
Who?
Like Daruis Fulghum, he's not that good. You have those type of odds if Canelo's fighting, and Rod Salka, something like that, where it's not going to happen, or an Amir Khan. These guys they're not on that level to be favored that much. You know, even my guy, bro, Jordan Fuentes. You know, he's fighting Roberto Pena. Jordan Fuentes, very athletic, very skillful. I thought he lost to Steven Navarro, but it was a really nice, good competitive fight between a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old. But because he don't have that power, he should never be minus 2,000 over anybody. Now, I don't know too much about this Roberto Cantu Pena, but, you know, Golden Boy's not really going to put their fighters like a Robeisy Ramirez in a tough little fight early on. But if I was wishful thinking, you know, instead of putting that $1 to win 2,800, you know what I mean? Like,
That's
that's
crazy.
what I'm saying. Like, and these odds, they sometimes. Let me give you an example. There was a female fighter named Julissa Alejandra Guzman. Does that ring any bells?
Julissa, nah, it doesn't.
Okay, she had like 15 wins and like 4 losses, and she fought Eddie Hearn fighter named Ramla Ali. She
Yep.
knocked her out. Okay, so I'm just saying, sometimes these bookies, they get it wrong, and even if they get it right, in no world should these odds be like this in this favor. Look, don't get me wrong, Floyd Schofield, he might win, bro. Like, he might win. Like, I like Floyd Schofield. I'm rooting for him because Golden Boy doesn't really have a lot of, you know, fighters on the roster, let alone a lot of prospects on the roster, especially black prospects on their roster. So I'll be rooting for him, you know, because, you know, Errol Spence and company and PBC, they said that Golden Boy don't treat their black fighters right, you know. So
Yeah.
I've never heard Floyd Schofield ever complain, you know. But I know that if he loses tonight, the first fucking rhetoric, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you see, Golden Boy shouldn't have put him in there with a tough fight. This dude's fought Michelle Rivera." You know, it's cherry picking gone wrong type of shit. Darius Fulghum, they're gonna be like, "Man, he shouldn't be fighting Christopher Pearson. This dude only lost to Carlos Gongora and some dudes that these dudes don't even be looking at." You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, bro, these are some really good fights. Yeah, man. Look, I'm not.
Damn.
I'll be a man of my word. $20 to win. Nah, maybe not 20. Let me just go with $12. Or what does $8 look like?
Nah, just do 10.64.
I go 10.
Even it out.
I like 10. So I'm letting you guys know, like, I'm not lying to you guys. I believe that this could happen. You know,
That's a good bet.
I mean, I'll
Might
take
do the
it.
same thing, you
It's
know,
going to
man.
be difficult, you know, because again, if Chris Pearson lets his let me put it like this: Yamaguchi Falcao, right? His older brother is Esquivel Falcao. Now, one is a gold medalist. I don't know if the other Falcao, but that kid, that young man. Sorry, I didn't mean to call him a kid. You know, dude's 33 years old. But Christopher Pearson, if he lets his hands go, he's beating Darius Fulghum, right?
Yeah.
Fulghum does not punch harder than Trevor McCumbee. He's not better than Carlos Gongora. Christopher Pearson just better not take a dive, because you've been in there with those 4 fighters that you've lost. They're all better than Darius Fulghum. That's just a fact. Like, look, now I'll do you guys one better. All right, I showed you guys all of these fights. Hold on. I'm gonna put, what did I say? Darius Fulghum versus Vaughn Alexander. All right, right here. Where we at? Let me close this one right here. This is the zone. Shit, they're gonna strike me, bro.
Yeah, they're pretty quick. God, he's just right there in front of him.
He's right there in front of him. You know, he just Peter Pans his punches, you know. And this fight, Vaughn, bro, if you just let your hands go with some intent, bro, you probably win. And then this is early in the round when Darius Fulghum is supposed to be the sharpest that he's been. When you start watching the 7th, 8th, I think they go 10 rounds or 8 rounds. I think it was 8. When you start watching past the 5th round, Darius Fulgham's outwork and output of punches gets lower and lower and lower. And it's just, I think people start booing him, bro. Because the fight was lackluster. Now let me show you Christopher Pearson. I make sure that these Pornhub tabs on here, I don't want to get written up. This is a joke, guys. Line up the move, man. Trying to win the lottery here. What's his name? Christopher Pearson. Christopher Pearson or Pearson? No, that's Pearson, like Jessica Pearson. And Trevor McCumbee. All right, watch this. Hold on. This is Trevor McCumbee and Pearson.
Mm.
I'm gonna put some volume up for you guys.
And gold trunks for the Sun. Christopher Pearson, 2018 to May of 2023. And very explosive here in round one.
Yeah, it seems like get out of the initial aggressiveness. Let's see, he's trying to control McCumbee very, very aggressive.
Now that's Trevor McCumbee, folks. The same guy that went and dropped Caleb Plant 2 times. What I want you guys to focus, even though one dude is getting blitzed, he's trying to not survive. He's just trying to weather the storm, right? Because Trevor McCumbee, in the first round, 30 minutes into the fight of 10 rounds, he's throwing nothing but the kitchen sink at him. And look how he stays calm, chin tucked down, hands up. You don't see that from Floyd Schofield. You don't see that from Daruis Fulghum. But you see it when this dude, in the heat of the fire, bro, these are basic.
Against very veteran fighters who had knock shots. McCumbee keep him busy, though.
Like you said, Champ, Pearson seeing him.
Wade has his opponent in the corner.
Right? And Pearson, he's there blocking, rolling, dipping with the shoulders. And Trevor McCumbee's trying to use angle as pivots just to change the angle. And Christopher Pearson is doing what? Staying cool, calm, and collected under pressure. And you know Trevor McCumbee with his steroid looking ass, you know he's throwing fucking heat. And look at the left straight. If he does that against Daruis Fulghum, bro, he probably knocking Daruis Fulghum out.
Damn. I see it, man. I see it. Oh my god, dude. Yup.
Look, bro. This is why you watch film, because if you're coaching these guys now, again, maybe these guys do this on purpose because of the level of opposition that they're up there against. That they're like, I can afford to make these mistakes. But no, you can't. No, you can't, because if you have championship aspirations, if you're really trying to make it a bona fide career, you correct these flaws off the rip. Immediately, you teach, you school, you drill, and discipline this stuff. So, and this is the first round, folks. That's the different level of pressure that I'm talking about. So don't get misguided and misled just because some fighters have a couple of losses. Look at the level of competition and those losses in the manner of how they lost, whom they lost to, and then you're going to be like, that's a real fighter. That's what a real fighter looks like. I'll take this. I'll take battle-tested fighters over a pretty record. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to preach.
Yeah.
But, watch those fights.
Man.
Golden Boy, you know, he's laughing right now. You know, he's laughing at the Matchroom curse because old boy's going 0-14 this year or whatever the case may be. Golden Boy might lose today on a couple of fights. And, you know, people are going to have some Clapback Thursday content to ready to go. So,
yeah.
But what you see, Drew, you think I'm like misleading you guys, man? You guys, you know, what do you think, bro? Like, you know, bring me back to reality.
I see it. No, I see it. But this is one thing, man. I need to see another Fulghum fight, you know, because Vaughn's tough. Vaughn's tough. If he's tired, if he feels like he can't hurt you, then he's just gonna shell up, bro. So like of course he's gonna go the distance. I think everyone knew that, but it's just with what's his name? Pearson. I think you're right. He has to let his hands go, bro.
Yeah.
So I think once he sees that opening, though, man, because McCumbie's strong, bro.
Yeah.
In the heat of exchange, he managed to make it through all that. So that's something that what's his name not coming with what's his name
Daruis Fulghum.
Yeah, Fulghum.
Yeah. Daruis Fulghum is not going to be fighting like Trevor McCumbee did against Christoph Pearson. That's one. He don't hit like Christoph Pearson. Another thing, and we're talking about, dude, Daruis Fulghum is not better than Yamaguchi Falcao. He's just not. And Pearson was able to knock out Yamaguchi Falcao. Now, I know a triangular theorem doesn't work, but I'm just saying, if Christoph Pearson still wants to be there, he beats Daruis Fulghum. You know, I'm not, again, I don't want to be mean right now, you know, but Daruis Fulghum isn't really a real fighter. Okay, like this guy, good-looking kid. He went to school. This guy's like a certified nurse. Like this dude probably gonna be a doctor, you know. And he ain't no Chris Algieri. Chris Algieri will go through the fire, fighting guys like Ruslan Provodnikov, Manny Pacquiao, Errol Spence. Darius Fulghum ain't gonna be in any of those type of fights. Now I'm not trying to be mean, like you know, I'm rooting for him. But if we're talking about betting and putting low risk to win big, this is as good as it's gonna get. So I think they're gonna get it wrong.
Yeah, dude. I hope I hope you're right, man. I'm gonna cook some bets up.
Shit,
I'll
I'm hoping too.
yeah, man. You got me hyped up over here, man. But yeah, I feel like that $10 bet is like really solid, bro. Like it
It's
makes
cool,
me,
huh?
yeah, it makes me feel warm inside. But but nah, dude, we got to do that, bro. Like, yeah, you got to do that. If you feel, I feel strongly about all three of those. Now, just looking at that, and I think Harold Calderon. I don't know the outcome of that. It's just they're so inconsistent. It's just Harold Calderon when he's in the heat of fire, bro. He's willing to exchange with you, and Eric Tudor not coming like that, bro. He's not hitting like that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I put that bet on there because I'm just taking your word for it. But I don't know too much about. I've seen Eric Tudor in a couple of fights. You know, I do like his skill. He reminds me of that PBC kid from New Jersey. You know,
Yeah,
not the one that fought Jesus Alejandro Ramos and he lost, but the other kid. He's doing really well, and he was an Olympian from New Jersey. There's not too many guys from New Jersey out there.
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? The
Italian.
man, what the fuck is his name?
Say it again.
The 154 pounder. That's who Eric Tudor reminds me of. The guy from PBC. I think he's now with Top Rank.
Oh, you're talking about fucking Junior Melnecki.
Vito Melnecki Jr. That's right.
Yeah.
That's who Eric Tudor reminds me of early on. Because if you watch Vito Melnecki Jr. early on in his fights, you know, he's got that, he has that look, he has that power, he has that posture, like, oh, this guy's gonna have his career. And then next thing you know, you're like, bro, why are you getting hit like that?
Yeah.
And now he's cleaning it up. Eric Tudor, even in his loss, he just got outworked. So he could be a real fighter. I just don't know too much about the guy, Harold Calderon. But I've never seen him, never even seen his name, to be honest with you. Oh, no, I've seen him. But he's 37 years old, bro. Calderon. He's 37 years old. These other guys, I'm telling you, they're still young.
Yeah, but he's a consistent pressure, bro. Like he's a come forward fighter, bro.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I think he has this good resume, bro. So Harold Calderon is like actually can punch, bro. And Eric Tudor is like his defense sloppy, bro. So and he gets tired, you know. So hopefully he clean that up. But if not, then I see him losing, bro.
Yeah.
So, solid upset. Oh, you know what other fight we forgot about? Nah.
No. Which one? I forget.
Oh, Shocky.
Oh.
Big shock.
Big shock Foster. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Shocky Foster. I always said like this. He didn't lose the fight to Robson Conceição, but he has nobody to blame but himself. What I mean by that is they robbed Shocky Foster versus Robson Conceição. But bro, you cannot fight like that, bro. You cannot go from Rocky Hernandez in Tijuana, Mexico, to then fight like how you did against Robson Conceição, bro. That shit is boring. That was dreadful to watch. Like it was bad. It was sloppy. You know, it wasn't quality work from him either. And the reason he decided to fight like that was because Robson Conceição was giving him a look, or maybe there was some power and speed that he didn't want to sit there and exchange with him. So he was like, you know what? I'm just going to win and not give this guy the opportunity, and I'm going to outbox him. And outbox him he did. But now that the tables have turned and Robson Conceição is the champion, so now he's the challenger, now I think we're going to get the real fight, and Shocky should win in a real competitive manner that he should. Look, one of the things that I always like to look at by whether I want to support a champion is this: how you defend your throne. You get what I'm saying? How you
Mhm.
defend your name, how you represent your name, your company, and the meaning and the significance of being a champion. How you defend it, how you fight means the world to me and how I'm going to judge you going forward. Oshaki, when he won the championship against Rocky Hernandez, I was like, that's a fucking performance. That is a performance worthy of remembrance. Everyone became a fan of Oshaki Foster. You know who became a fan of Oshaki Foster? Top Rank. They
Mm.
immediately after that Rocky Hernandez performance signed him. And
Yeah.
then what does he do? On his first title defense against Robson Conceição, you put on that type of performance, a stinker. Yeah, you won the fight on paper. Like Shakur Stevenson on paper won against old boy that knocked out Rayo Valenzuela. What's his name, bro? Edwin de los Santos.
Mhm.
Yeah, you won on paper like that, but you didn't win people's hearts and minds.
Yeah.
Like that is not what Top Rank signed you for. They don't
Mhm.
care if you're a champion. They care about that performance that you gave, knockout performance, fight of the year performance against Rocky Hernandez. That's what they were trying to get out of you, beating a gold medalist who never been knocked out, Robson Conceição, because they had aspirations to have you fight the stable at 130, Emmanuel Navarrete, Oscar Valdez, or even at 135 and unify with Shakur Stevenson type of shit. So off that
Mm.
performance, let me strip this title off your back and let me see when you become the tables have turned and you're a challenger. Now let's see if you got that dog in you once again and give people a fucking fight of the year. So what I'm
Mhm.
trying to say is when I look at the quality of fighters, I want to see you defend your throne, your name, and what you just fucking fought for with pride and honor, not just finesse. Yeah, I know this is boxing, but this is the hurt business, and you need to hurt, you know?
Mhm.
And you need to inflict pain on others and vice versa. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. I was very like that was not a memorable performance, and to the point where I didn't want to see it again. But because they robbed Oshaki Foster, hey, shout out to Top Rank for trying to get the good riddance on him on his side. Because I think Oshaki can be a really good fighter. You see his athleticism, you see his heart and his grit, and he can be slick in that fight, and then he can dog you out like he did against Rocky Hernandez. But yeah, man, you
Mhm.
got to be consistent, consistently put in valiant effort, like Trevor McCumbee. Bro, he brings that heat. Don't matter if it's against Caleb Plant or he brings it against guys like Christopher Pearson. Dude's gonna fight. Same thing like Christian and Billy. You know what you're gonna get out of guys like them and Jaime Munguia. Fucking barn burners. Like you're gonna get if you're a fan and you're putting your hard work earned money, shit, bro. You know you're gonna get into a real good fights. In a real good performance, you're gonna get your money's worth. With Oshaki
Yeah.
Foster, you never know. And that little confusion and inconsistent, you're like, I don't know if I want to put my money where my mouth is in regards to you, because I just don't know what energy that you're vibing with. Now, it could be an off night. He might have been
Mhm.
sick under the weather, coughing like old boy over here. He might be sick. Um, but yeah, man, Oshaki better bring it, bro. Like, I need to see him win by knockout, and I know that he
He
could.
needs the knockout.
Yeah, it'd be
He needs the
nice.
knockout. Yeah, bro.
But
I think he has to knock him out, bro. Like I feel like he's the type of fighter like I feel like he takes things for granted, bro. You know, like
yeah,
like in the fight, as far as like how well he did in the previous round, and he just he was still getting touched,
but they did
and
rob him. They did rob him.
but he won that fight. He won the race to 7. So there was no knockdowns. It was the same type of it was like the same round from round 1, to even to the later rounds,
Yeah,
you know. I,
mediocre.
yeah. So it was yeah, I think Oshaki has to bring more effort, and I feel like he learned from his previous from part 1. He was blessed um with the opportunity to have the rematch, so he needs to take full fucking advantage of it, bro. And I'm rooting for him, bro, just because you see his emotions, bro. Like there's like he got robbed, and it's like damn, like it was just gut wrenching, bro. Like to see him, hurt like that. So I want to see him win this shit. I'm staying away from it, as a betting man. But that's one I'm excited about. You know.
Yeah. And here's the thing with and I'm gonna go with this with the Brazilian Robson Conceição. He brings it though, bro.
Yeah,
Like if you look at that fight versus Shakur Stevenson, he was trying. When you
dude.
look at the fight versus Oscar Valdez, he was doing good, and then he decided to run the last 3 rounds. You know, like so he'll come to fight. But you know, Oshaki with the shoulder roll and his athletic defense is like, Robson slaps his punches, right? He throws like a chopping four. It's kind of weird to look at. Like when you look at it, he looks like he's throwing Tyson Fury when he fought Wilder and just like bending his wrist. So I'm just like, Oshak, bro, stay in the pocket, roll with the shots, counter, catch and shoot, dig to the body, throw some left hooks, bro. You got the power, you show the grit, the toughness. But bro, I don't know, man. To your point, yeah, I'm staying away from that fight. I think Oshaki should knock him out, honestly, with flying colors. The Mexican G goes, shit, my bad, brother. I haven't been reading a couple of comments. He goes,
Oh shit.
Jojo Diaz has always had discipline issues. He never lived up to his true potential. Facts. I lost respect when I heard he was talking to minors. Absolutely, I agree. Never been impressed with Schofield. That chin is just asking to be countered. Man, Oscar's a weirdo, but I respect him because he was a warrior in the ring and nobody can take that from him. Yeah, man, he's a standout Olympian gold medalist for his mom who died of cancer or was fighting cancer during that time. 5-6-time division champion, passed the torch to Floyd Pacquiao, fought Shane Mosley when he was on designer judge with Victor Conte, fought Bernard Hopkins. The guys that he lost to, he partnered with to establish Golden Boy, had Golden Boy a top 4 or 5 promotional company for 20 plus years. Like, bro, you can't strip that from him. Now, you might be able to strip his dignity in the sense that, this guy's a cross-dresser, old boy Buffalo Bill, little things like that. But like you said, in that ring, best resume, best fighter to ever hold it down from East Los and just probably in the United States.
Yeah, the best Mexican American fighter ever. So
I might even say the best Mexican fighter ever with his resume. I'll take it. No. I'll take his resume over Salvador Sanchez or Ricardo Finito Lopez. Now, I won't take his resume. Let me see.
yeah,
I'll take his resume over Juan Manuel Marquez.
Nah.
Yeah, I'll tell you why. Marquez don't have a Shane Mosley.
Nah.
He has Floyd, he has Pacquiao, he has Rocky Juarez, he has Baby Boy Diaz. He like Juan Manuel Marquez is my favorite fighter. He has a great resume with 70 fights, but Oscar De La Hoya has, bro. Let me read you his resume. Fernando Vargas. Hold on. Let's just read this.
You just hear typing.
Yeah, I know. I need to remember. Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Mayorga, B-Hop, Stern, Mosley, Fernando Vargas. I didn't even know he fought Arturo Gatti. Shit. Shane Mosley, again. Felix Tito Trinidad, Ike Corte, Julio Cesar Chavez, Hector Camacho, Pernell Whitaker, Julio Cesar Chavez again, Genaro Hernandez. Let me say, boy, he fought Maromero Pais? Jorge Pais? No way. What the fuck? I need to watch that one. Jeff Mayweather. I didn't even know he fought Jeff Mayweather's 4th fight. That's Oscar, bro. Like, come on. That dude has like fucking 4 careers in one.
Hey, it sounds like you didn't do your research enough, man. There's a lot on the list, bro.
Nah. Wait, you said you're on the list?
Nah, I said it looks like there's more people that you don't know of that should, that should come to mind as far as, the best Mexican fighters of all time, bro.
Well, I mean, read me then, bro. I know there's Marco Antonio Barrera, Eric Morales, but bro, Oscar has a better resume than all of them.
What about Marco Antonio Barrera? What about El Finito Ricardo Lopez, the guy from the smaller weights?
Yeah. Let me ask you this:
Canelo, he doesn't pass up Canelo, bro. Like,
are any of those guys gold medalists? Let's just start with the amateurs. Are any of those guys gold medalists?
Nah,
I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. They were up there, but they weren't gold medalists. Oscar was.
You can say he's the best Mexican amateur ever.
Maybe, but I'll also say like his resume. Now he didn't win all of his fights. Now you said, yeah, he fought all of those fights, Rick, but and all of those Hall of Famers, but he didn't win a lot of them. I get you, but bro, in terms of resume and accomplishments, there's a reason why Juan Manuel Marquez doesn't have a promotional company. Barrera, Eric Morales. Now I'm not saying they're not great, bro. I don't want to disrespect the legends. Those guys are amazing fighters. But Oscar De La Hoya has the best resume of not just Mexican Americans, of Mexicans, bro. I'm not talking about record being 50-0 and stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not talking about all of that. I'm just saying the totality of work. Oscar De La Hoya has probably the best resume out of all of those guys.
Well,
and I love Eric Morales, bro. Him and Barrera, those are some fucking straight fights. Like, not just crappy fights, quality defense, bro. Malice, evil intent. You watch those press conferences, bro. Those dudes are throwing punches at each other. Like, dude, there was true animosity and hatred. Like, I love those fighters, bro. That's what I grew up with. Marquez with Baby Bull Diaz, Rocky Juarez, Freddie Norwood, Chris John. I love Juan Manuel Marquez, bro. Pacquiao, Floyd, Timothy Bradley, Mike Alvarado. No disrespect, but Oscar De La Hoya had Felix Tito Trinidad. Juan Manuel Marquez would need a Miguel Cotto. You get what I'm saying?
Cotto.
Hold on.
Miguel Cotto.
Warp Speed says, hey, Captain Kirk, estoy en el lobby, bro. The Mexican G goes, Foster is too old. The highlight of his career will be beating Vargas. Oscar definitely has one of the best records out of all Mexican fighters. Chavez fought nothing but cab drivers. That's why I didn't even include him. You can add Meldrick Taylor to the list and Pernell Whitaker's, but he got nothing but filler. His resume is like a Walking Dead series, bro. You're gonna get 30 episodes, but 20 of them is filler and just growing, planting trees over there and building fortress. Hey, what's going on, Speed? My check real quick, bro. Let's see if we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, no, you guys are overlooking the greatest Mexican American fighter of all time, of the area of Los Angeles, and I can't even imagine the kind of ignorance that both of you gentlemen display when you do not include Vasily Lomachenko as one of the greatest Mexican American fighters out of East Los. Come on, guys.
Come on, dude. Lomachenko, bro.
Man, no. So listen, man. I look
in the top 10 in Mexican boxing history, bro. Stop it.
Look, when we discuss men like Chavez, right? When we discuss Julio Cesar Chavez, what I like to look at, right, is because Mexican Cheese said, or I think maybe you said, one of you guys said, and good morning to you, Mexican, you guys said he fought a lot of cab drivers. But I look at that guy's record, man, those cab drivers that he fought, they were winners. Like, they were not upside down names. Maybe he has like 5 upside down names. Everyone else had 20 wins, 2 losses, 40 wins, 1 loss or whatever. 20 wins, 2 losses, so forth and so on. And one day I tallied his record, like his wins, his opponents, to their wins and their losses. It was incredible, guys. It reached, I don't know, like 500, 600 wins combined between all of his opponents, and only like maybe 20 losses or whatever. No, it's no. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the combined record of all of his opponents. Everything said and done. He never fought upside down fighters. Like, when we look at it, we really have to disrespect these fighters that maybe when we were growing up, we didn't have any access to the kind of information we have now. News reports, papers, the YouTube channels. We didn't have any access to that. In fact, a lot of these fights we didn't even get to watch because, they were from Mexico. He wasn't a big name so far. He was on the up and up. But he didn't pad his record with what you would call upside down fighters, right? When you fight an upside down fighter, you're basically trying to pad a record. You're trying to add a dub to your overall box rec. That's what I'm trying to say. And when you look at the names, just look at the names. I
But
don't care. You may not know these guys. Maybe they weren't champions. Maybe they were.
so you're
Maybe they.
onto something. You're onto something. But I was just counting right now. In his first 27 fights, 30 fights, they had a lot of up and down records, bro. Like, sure, there's some guys that are like Mario Martinez, 1984, 31-2. But there's also guys with Benjamin Abarca, in his 24th professional fight, 21 wins, 15 losses, 20 fights into his resume. Chavez, he has a guy with 1 win and 1 loss. Like, bro, that's a prospect, and you have 20 fights. That's crazy. You know what I mean? That's like if you saw Canelo right now with 64 fucking total fights fighting some dude that has a record of 8-0. Like, sure, he's got a winning record and he's undefeated, but dude, you have like 9 times the amount of experience when you're fighting a dude with 8-0. Like, what are you doing?
No, look, I get that, but one of the things that you've been discussing, and I agree with you, right? You've been saying that these fighters have to be more active. If you look at the record of all of the fights and the time frame that he was fighting, man, he was just picking up fights wherever he wanted it.
That's
You want to scrap down, you want to throw, let's go. That's all he was doing, right? And if a guy has 1 win and 1 loss and he wants to take it on, and this guy's just coming into town and they hear that there's a fighter, I don't know, from where is he from? What's that state of Mexico with the sea?
Culiacán.
Where, Culiacán. If he's coming from Culiacán, viene un peleador de Culiacán. Hey, I want it. The kid is just like, I want it. He don't care who it is, right? Because at the end of the day, Julio says Chavez, at the moment, he's nobody. He's a guy trying to establish his name. He's just picking up wins. He's just fighting anybody. And that's what happened in the old days. That's why you have fighters that have 100 fights, but not every single one of them was an incredible fighter. In fact, a lot of the time when people look at Muhammad Ali's record, look at Muhammad Ali's record. He didn't have all the incredible names. He had like 5 or 6 of them, right? And a couple of rematches between those 5 or 6 great fighters, right?
Yeah, sure.
So what I'm trying to say is this, guys. We try to tally, and of course, if you have, look, when do you become a prospect? When do you say, let's say, for example, when you've trained with my son, right? You really don't take it that serious anymore, and whatever. But anyways, let's just say that you were trying to manage my let's just say that you were trying to manage my son's career, and you turn him into a pro. When do you decide to take the next step up and say, okay, this guy's ready as a prospect, not just an up and comer, not just a novice, but a guy that he has enough fights, enough experience, enough styles to take it to the next step? How many fights does he have to have in order for you to think, if everything is going right, if he has enough skill to make it to the top? When do you decide to push him? Do you do it at 10 fights, 20 fights?
Right. So it's subjective, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has a different learning curve, right? And fighters have different levels of discipline. And at the end of the day, the way to answer that question is 2 things. One, being defensively responsible, and toughness. I'm gonna put those in one category. If you're tough, then I know that you have a certain level of temperament. And it's kind of like putting your hand on a fire stove and see how much you can tolerate the burn, the pain. If you're defensively responsible and can protect yourself, that means I know more or less you can block the heat. Now, your toughness. If you're defensively responsible, chin tucked down, always aware, you know how to block punches, not just block, but bury and catch and shoot, then that lets me know that's going to help you to be tough, because you're going to be able to be more receptive to taking shots, and then eventually you're going to be able to develop more punch tolerance. If you're just tough, but you're reckless defensively, I don't care how tough you are, eventually a great chin is going to crack. So that's one category. And then last but not least, if you're soft offensively, meaning do you have that mindset to actually hurt a person? Not just be nice and cute in the ring and, oh man, he's flashy. No, can you hurt a person? That's going to come down to me if you have proper punch technique, and malice. Do I see you have that flipped switch? If I see that, those are the two categories, then I know, okay, this dude can go from amateur to pro. Now, the other question, because it's a two-part question, or at least another, you were like, when do you know when you go from amateur to pro and then, prospect to contender? Well, that question is going to come down to experience and your matchmaking and how you're getting rid of your opponents. For example, Floyd Schofield, this is his first true test, right? Because when you fight like this is a prospect. This is an amateur, doesn't really know his strength, his distance, and really know his comfort zone of really just being planted and not allowing your athleticism to get the best out of you, but just great punch technique and experience. He's not right now. I don't think that's why I'm putting some money up, because I don't think he's ready. Now, I've been wrong before, and I've been correct in the past as well. But this type of, visual representation that I see from Schofield in this 17th fight, I don't think he's ready. You cannot be this careless, because in this particular moment, Suero, he's not like, he might have hit him with some punches, but like, he's not in this manner where you're gonna have to blitz him off the rip to get the knockout. His legs didn't really shake. His eyes are not crossed over. You do that to do like a Roy Jones highlight knockout reel and just be like, boom, jumping, lunging left hook, sit his ass down. I walk like, Jersey Joe caught to the other corner, and I'm already doing a backflip type of shit. That's not this moment. He's doing it in the first round, bro. It's like, what? No.
No, I get that, but I guess what I'm saying, because see, there's even that is conflicting, right? Because you have to understand no, it is, because what if your fighter doesn't have those things,
Well,
right?
then
Like,
then he's not ready.
no, but what if he never attains those things? Not every fighter that becomes a pro is ever going to reach the top. But just because they don't have the it factor, they don't have the je ne sais quoi, they don't have the extra things out there to make them a star, does not mean they aren't fighters. Does not mean they don't want to continue fighting. It does not mean that a chance, an opportunity might not come up. Right? We know of fights that don't make sense. The champion decides to take on a soft touch or just any random guy just to get a quick win in there. And guess what? That guy doesn't even deserve the shot. Like Edgar Berlanga, he might not have deserved the shot. He might not have been ready for a Canelo, but guess what? He's there. What I'm saying is this, right? When you're a fighter, you're gonna get the fight however it comes. If it's a guy with a good record, a bad record, whatever, your job is just to fight, right? And your job is not to let others tell you, you know what, you're not gonna make it. You're not going to make it. I can't move you any further. I can't move you any further because you're not learning. I mean, the manager, the trainer can decide to sever the relationship and just leave it right there. But the fighter that wants it, he's going to continue doing it one way or another. All I'm trying to say is this, right? There's going to be fighters that are not going to be champions, will never be champions. They'll never have what it takes to take it to the next level. But they will continue to fight, and there's always going to be somebody to fight him. Chavez may have fought a lot of those guys, but once he reached that level, like I think you may have mentioned it, 20 fights in, he was still fighting guys with a 1-1. Once he reached that level, guess what? Look at that record up. Right when they knew that he had it, right when they knew he was better than these guys, there was no doubt. Then he started moving in with a bunch of great names. Well, not great names, but guys with good and great records. Would you agree or no?
Yeah, no, it does get progressively way better. And you're like, wow, these are some good fights where, he can have, like, cherry picking gone wrong. But yeah, no, to your point, that was a different time where these fighters weren't getting paid a lot. So in order to make like $100,000, they might have needed to fight 20 times in the span of 3 months, just to make like 5,000 each fight. Let's just say, or even less. No, I get it. Absolutely. Like that was a more of a necessity. And they're like, dude, I just got to be as active. And these people are very forgiving. They don't care so much about whether a fighter loses. They want to know, like, these are some great fucking quality fights, and I want to see this dude active. No, I respect the grind of the fighters of the past generation. I'm not trying to like shit on it. I'm just saying quality versus quantity and how the times have changed. And when you try to make that comparison, even though it's fantastical and fantasy, you're able to like be like, nah, man, this guy might have 100 fights, but I'll take Canelo's resume as a body of whole, because even though Julio Cesar Chavez has over 40 more fights, and he does have a Pernell Whitaker, does he have also an Erislandy Lara? Does he have an Austin Trout? Does he have a Floyd Mayweather? Does he have all these fighters? Yeah, he has a Meldrick Taylor, but Canelo does too, and you start like comparing and contrasting. He's like, man, this dude got a lot. Does he have a Bivol? Oh, he lost to Costa Zoo. You know what I mean? Oh, he got knocked out by Oscar De La Hoya. Canelo has a couple of gold medalists on his resume, maybe. I don't know. But you get what I'm saying? Like, you start looking at it like, okay,
Frenchman.
Chavez Senior, he has a Costa Stu. Canelo has the Bivol and Triple G. Okay, what about Pedro Gomez and all these dudes and Hector Camacho? Oh, he lost to them too. But guess what? He's got Puerto Ricans as well. Erlanga, Miguel Cotto. So you start comparing and then just like, damn, the quality opposition for 40 more fights. Then you start realizing, this guy's got filler in between. So again, I'm not trying to.
No, of course, guys.
It wasn't about all that. It was just
Yeah,
Oscar De La Hoya has the best resume in Mexican American and just Mexican history. Period.
yeah. Whoa. In Mexican history, are we denying Canelo? Didn't we just have a couple of episodes where we said Canelo is arguably the greatest Mexican fighter of all time? And now
Fuck.
you're saying that Canelo.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, he's a
God.
flip flopper, bro.
No, look, it's okay. Look, it's okay because
I would have did say that. Yeah.
the sport of boxing.
Say it again.
Hey, you cut off, bub.
Yeah, you cut out, man.
Shit, let me see if he's back on, because it shows that he's there. He probably got a car or some shit.
Yeah,
Hey, yo, Drew, did you
Yo.
hear fucking Speed hit us with this fancy ass word, the je ne sais quoi?
I know. I was like, you
What
looked it
the
up.
fuck, man? I was like, how do you spell that shit, And then
Yeah.
it's a French word, I believe, at the end. Je ne
Yeah,
sais
that's what
quoi.
people say. Like, I don't know.
It's a quality that cannot be described or named easily. This fucking
Yeah.
guy fucking over here hitting us with the Oxford Dictionary and shit.
I know, bro. I was like, damn, bro. We need to get like a little widget on this shit that would that can help us fucking define some of the words that come out of this guy's mouth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hey guys, if you guys want to learn a new language, right? And you guys have a smartphone, whatever the case may be, there's this dope ass app, right? If you use the homie Ricky 101 promo code, there's this dope ass app
Shut the
called
fuck up.
Duolingo. Okay? That's a badass little app and it teaches you for free. Now it starts telling you that, like, oh, do you want to pay for it? Nah, you don't have to. And you can just learn these courses and just basic words. It's called Duolingo. Have you heard of that, Drew?
Nah, I haven't.
Yeah, man. If you want to learn a couple of words, let me Duolingo. This app right here, this little bird right here, green little face. I'm telling you, bro, you can learn from Japanese, Chinese, Spanish, French, all of these things, whatever you want. It does a pretty good job. Now, of course, it just depends how studious that you want to be, but Duolingo is a pretty cool little app on your guy's smartphone. It's pretty dope, man. You guys can learn a little bit of words and stuff and phrases, and it's very cool because they don't have the writing, and it basically like repeat after me, and you'd be like, oh, okay, how do you say water? Oh, mizu in Japanese. How do you say rice? Oh, gohan. And then it'll teach you words like isha to go or sensei kudasai, and you're like, oh, that's a teacher and a person, please, or you know what I mean? And you start learning these things. I'm telling you guys from experience because I be on that bitch. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, man. What time do these fights start? They start soon, right?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, so I'm not really one that's gonna cater to Matchroom, but I think Matchroom fights start probably now, because I think Matchroom has some fights, and then Golden Boy probably fights later on their platform, and then same as Top Rank. So I think you might be right. There's some fights that are happening right now. That's more of speed. He usually lets you know, and this dude hopped off. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that he had a car or something.
Yeah, man. And so there's another fight, Jai Tucker. This kind of went over my head a little bit, but Jai Tucker is going up against. Did I talk about this or was this on the phone?
You told me about this, but through Instagram. You didn't tell me this through the live.
Oh, okay, yeah. Jai Tucker, he's fighting Amari Jones, old opponent. uh Madeira. He's from out here. Like Fresno area, but yeah, he's from oh no, my bad. He's from like Stockton. Yeah, he's from Stockton. So that's Amari Jones's old opponent, but he's sucks, man. I'm looking at it. You can't really bet anything on it. Man, you can't make no money on it. It's just him, Jai Tucker money line. That's something to look out for.
Is he good?
Madera, nah, he just come forward. He doesn't.
No,
He
no. Jai Tucker, is he good?
nah. He does. He's suspect. I think he's suspect. His chin is suspect. He gets hit and he gets wobbly. His feet, you know, uh, he loses his feet throughout the fight. He gets tired. Um, but he is somewhat like he's somewhat like game. Like he's got experience at this point. Just because he lost. Oh yeah, I think he lost at with Top Rank. Uh, and after that, they put him in tough, bro. Like they were like, like, like they were trying to knock this dude out, and yeah, bro. So he's not, he's not really like the goods. I know like he called out like Amari, a couple
That's
months
what I
back.
was gonna get to right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he called out Amari, but maybe they're trying to set that up. I would fucking love that fight. Jai Tucker versus Amari Jones.
Well,
Uh,
it's funny that you say that because I don't know too much about Jai Tucker, right? And he's got a record of 12 wins, one loss, and one draw.
mm,
But the guy that he's fighting tonight on Top Rank, his name is Quilisto Madera, and he's from
mm,
Stockton, California. And those dudes don't play from that block
mm,
in that area. So, Quilisto Madera, he's 14 wins, 9 knockouts. So this dude can crack. He's got 5 losses by 2 knockouts, right?
mm,
He's 6-0, so he's tall. He's got arm length. Jai Tucker 6'1", so it's not like he's gonna be like, oh, he's gonna be able to outbox him easily. But check this out. You mentioned Amari Jones from Oakland. This guy Kalisto Madera, and how you're talking about how they want to set up Jai Tucker and Amari. Well, this dude fought Amari Jones. He fought him
mm,
last year in December. He got knocked out in 5 rounds in San Francisco on the Devin Haney Regis Pro Grade undercard. He went 5 rounds. He also lost to Kevin Newman II, and they went unanimous decision. And he also lost to Jose Armando Resendez, the guy
mm.
who got knocked out by Elijah Garcia, but beat Jarrett Hurd. And this dude
Mhm.
also lost to this is the oddball right here, because this guy had 2 wins and 6 losses. Jared Fenderson, and he got knocked out. So
Mm.
that's the oddball one. And I'm like, damn, bro, you losing to guys with good records, but then all of a sudden you just fucking get knocked out by some dude with 2 wins and 6 losses. Like, what the fuck happened here? Anyway, so if you're telling me that this dude Jai Tucker is good but experienced, but he a little suspect. I mean, he's 21 years old, fighting a dude from Stockton, who might just pull an upset. Now, I'm not going to vouch for this one because I don't know too much about Kalisto Madera. I never seen him fight. I don't know his experience. And I don't really know, like, this guy's a prospect losing to other prospects. So I don't know in the manner of how his defense is, his punch tolerance, all of that. But, so I'm going to stay away from that one. But yeah, man, to your point, Jaif Tucker is fighting Kalisto Madera, who has Amari Jones, who you personally know. And yeah, man, it's gonna be very interesting. But yeah, I have no idea about him.
Yeah, Kalisto's he spars a lot of dudes, bro. Like he spars what's his name? Joe Sean Jones, James.
Yeah,
He sparred I'm pretty sure he sparred my boy Keone, but he gets good work, bro. Like he gets solid ass work. He
he gets
travels,
it or he gives solid ass work or
he
both.
gives, he gives and he gets. He goes to a lot of he goes to what that one gym uh not Andre Ward's gym, my bad. His coach. What's his coach's name?
Oh, you talk about not Virgil, but yeah,
Yeah,
Virgil
Virgil.
Hunter.
Yeah, Virgil. Yeah. I believe it's in Hayward or somewhere out there. But yeah, no, he goes out there, you know, and he'll go to my uncle's gym. Like he gets solid work up there, but yeah, he's in the tough, bro. Jai Tucker, he also beat Jose Luis Sanchez. That's the dude that upset Eric Tudor. So I mean that says something, but he went the distance with him. Um, so he couldn't really like knock him out. And I feel like that dude's kind of like food a little bit if you don't uh handle him properly, you know. But yeah, that's another good one right there. Another solid one. You know, solid little bet. Bektamir
Yeah,
Melikuziev.
Melkuziev.
Melikuziev. He's fighting David Stevens. And I believe David Stevens got upset by Joshawn James.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I
that's
was watching David Stevens fight. Um, he looks very chinny. He doesn't look good, bro. Like I think Melkuziev should knock him out, bro.
yeah, that's an easy one. You know, the
I
odds is
don't know if
minus.
it's easy because Gabriel Sato landed that shot left, like baited him into that walking forward. Boom.
That's true.
Melkuziev ate that. But yeah, I think he should win Melkuziev by knockout. Yo, let me ask the Mexican Geo question. I think you're down from LA region, no? Did you go to the Dodgers parade? Or are you a Padres fan, bro?
He's a Pati fan.
Yeah. I think he's a Dodgers fan. I was
Es
just kind of curious if you had gone to the parade.
un padre.
Because I think the parade was yesterday. I know my mom was like, hey, man, the parade started. And I'm like, hey, I'm a Shohei Ohtani fan. I'm not a Dodgers fan.
Yeah, I know. Shit, man. I'm not messing with LA Dodgers.
Now, I got nothing with them. It's just, because we were born in the northern side of California. So, you just go with your region. But I've always loved the Dodgers in terms of the
That's
the
what
history, in terms of always getting Latinos and the Mexican players. They've always been like an outsider looking, like always getting them. So they have great history. That's why their fans are very loyal and they travel well, like the Niner fans. But I'm just waiting
yeah,
for a comment.
that's why I was wearing a New York Yankees hat last night. I was like wearing that shit.
Yeah.
Go Yankees. No,
Yeah, then where we live, we can't really wear colors like that because people are gonna be like, "Hey, fool, wait, where you from?" And I'll be like, "What you talking about, bro?" He goes, "Southern California, repping it right here." Sheesh.
what you guys say? Yeah, yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, did you go to the parade, bro? I heard it was quite lovely and popping with the cuetes and fireworks and
The cuetes.
Molotovs. They were like, Geronimo.
This guy. Cuetes.
Cuetes, el cuete, el pinche
Yeah,
chilo
man.
de cuernos, ¿a qué dicen? Cuerno de
Uh,
chilo, they say, for the AK-47s.
in LA, they say yay, yay. Out here, we say yay, yay,
Yay,
yay, yay.
yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I guess he said. I'm sure that he probably went to the parade, but yeah, and he goes, "Nah, I live 2 hours from LA."
That's how it be down there. Fucking, it's pretty fucking big out there. There's a lot of vast areas to like. There's mountain ranges out there, or mountain like, it's like rangy out there. But I feel like there's more places. Like I feel like it's bigger in SoCal than it is out here. I feel like it's too there's too many mountains out here for like in north like in because we're in Central California. You know, uh I feel like we're not as north as you think. You know, we're like up north is really like the Sierras and shit. Like
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
there ain't no fucking like habitable. It's habitable, but it's like you're gonna live in the mountains near a fucking redwood tree that's gonna fall. You know, but yeah, man, SoCal is just fucking big because so many damn cities. You can say, "Oh, I'm in SoCal," but like the Mexicans you said, now I live 2 hours from LA. That's how it be down there.
Yeah, it's true. California is very big. It's very there's a big, huge populace, and the way it's divided. That's why there was a big thing a couple years ago, and it probably still carries on now. God, come on, bro. Don't what's up with this nasal, bro? Just congestion, bro. I've been dealing with this like whatever's, man. Anyway, more speed goes here again. But as I was saying, I think there was a couple years and ago, or maybe still lingering now, where they want to divide California into like 4 or 8 parts because every area of California gets taxed the same. And there's some places, I don't know if it's down south or more going to like the Nevada region. They're like, bro, we don't make that much money. You guys are still taxing us like, these fucking rich ass people in different areas. And it's like, we're not making that money type of thing. And then the taxes and property and all of this stuff. And it's just like, nah, bro, they wanted to divide California into like 4 or 8 different sections. Do you guys remember what I'm talking about, Speed, or no?
Yeah. Yeah, well, there's the town up north, right in the border of Oregon and California, called Jefferson. It's it's higher up than Humboldt County, but I think more to the coast, right? And Jefferson is a county that's very, very isolated, very sparsely populated. Um, they're flat terrain, some mountainous regions, and yeah, because of the fact that a lot of the more populated areas of California are very, what you would say, liberal, right? You know, women's rights, abortion, drugs, crime, gangs, whatever. And these little towns up north, they really don't have those kind of things because they're very isolated mountainous regions where people have lots of terrain. So they protect themselves by guns and their property and whatnot. They disagree with a lot of the ways that the politicians that get voted in, and they get voted in because they represent the bigger, more populous areas of California. They get ignored, right? Because nobody really thinks about the guy who has 100 head of cow up there in the plains of Jefferson County, right? Those people get very ignored and just underrepresented. So these guys have been maybe for about 30 or so years now trying to secede from the state and create the state of Jefferson, which is just like a little slice of California in the region of the border of Oregon, which is not too big, but still it would be big enough to have their own like district, maybe the size of the District of Columbia, D.C., right over there by Washington. But that's one of them. But a lot of uh, these plans to secede, and in fact, we got an opportunity to vote on them. I think the past two election cycles, they have been pushed by none other than Silicon Valley, right? Silicon Valley has a lot of billionaires that have their own plans. Silicon Valley, Las Gatas, and Menlo Park, and all those regions that maybe Dream could tell us more about. Those areas over there is where all the software app producing players are at, and these guys, they're way different than rural county folk, right? They are all tech savvy. They're more futuristic. They may look at these country folk as hicks and rednecks and beans and spics or whatever. They don't have anything in common with the country folk. They're more modernized, and they want to keep it that way. But they also want to be able to have their own laws and their own tax rates, because according to them, a lot of the income that gets produced in the state of California does come from them. Technology is a massive contributor to the state's revenues because of taxes. So they want to secede in order to create what they call, I think it was California East California or something like that. They want to have their own little area where they can just like say, okay, we don't pay California taxes. We're our own thing. We have our own cops. We have our own border. Whoop de whoop, blah blah blah. And it comes from the billionaires who have benefited from the school system, the highways, the mass transportation, and the freight, all of those things, right? Once they reach the top, then they want to just completely disregard and ignore everything that they got for free for the most part, or on pennies on the dime from the state, and they already get subsidized. California subsidizes these industries, right? So it's contradictory. Now, make of that what you will, right? A lot of people do think that California is a lot of is a bastion of liberalism, and it really isn't, guys. Maybe Los Angeles, maybe regions of San Diego,
San
maybe regions of
Francisco.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we're all country. You go down to Modesto, you go down to Madera, you come over here to
Salinas.
Salinas, you come over here. We're all country, guys. Look, because we're
Most
country.
places have they're loud.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those places are loud. Oakland is loud. Frisco is loud. All those places, but Stockton, all those places can get loud and rowdy, right? But for the most part, everybody works out in the fields, keeps their noses clean, and that we live and let live, right? That's why we don't read like in Salinas, right? I'll just talk a little bit about Salinas. In Salinas, we're not truly racist, right? Right, because the levels of the population, the demographics, don't really allow for that. We have about half, maybe about 40% Hispanic, or maybe 50% Hispanic, like maybe 30 to 40% white, and then anything in between, right? For the 10% blacks and other people, you tend to see racism more in places like Oakland, especially back in the 70s and 80s, where the population was greatly black. So that if you were a brown man or something like that, the black folk would be racist on you, right? You go
Huh.
down to you go down to regions of, let's say, San Diego, perhaps they might have you know racist Mexicans towards blacks and so forth and so on, maybe even whites, right? But in Salinas, we really do have a tolerance of people and cultures, so that even though we are country folk, we do also have what you would call big city problems, right? Like homosexuality, same-sex marriage, drugs and stuff like that, because we live and let live. And make of that what you will, again, but that just means like we mind our own business, but don't tread on me, right? But yeah, California is more than just what you outsiders think it is. It's it's not like how they depict it in the news. Do we have a bunch of druggies and tweakers and freaks walking around with their boobs and their schlongs hanging out? Some places, yeah, you do, but not up here. Not in the Central Coast. Not
Not in this house. No,
with
no,
our schlongs
no.
hanging out.
I mean, that's the thing about California. It's very diverse, which is why it leads me to ask this. California has had pretty good Republicans in terms of politicians. Like Ronald
Yeah,
Reagan, California. I don't know if he was born and raised here, but I know he was a governor and he was an actor, and I think he's from California. You know what I mean? Can you
yeah, I
correct
believe
me on
so.
that?
I
Is
believe
that
so.
a fact?
Yeah,
Hold on, Ronald Reagan. Let's see. Yeah,
Riagan.
bro. He died. Oh no, he was born in Tampico, Illinois, and he died in Los Angeles, California. Let's check it out. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, he was elected governor of Cali, bro. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say is it surprises me how in California they just pretty much always vote blue, Democratic. You know what I mean? Given the history of it, and how I don't know for like the past probably like 20 years, it's probably just been Democrats all the time. No,
20, 30 years. It's been like that all of my life, really. I guess once we get past former president and rest in peace, Ronald Reagan. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For the most part, it's been the Democrats. It votes straight up and down blue. Now again, that's because the people that vote, the more densely populated areas have more power. Their vote counts more because, hey, the more people they represent, the more actual, I don't know what the point is, I forget what it's called, but it is like a point-based system in certain divisions through gerrymandering. They represent 1 point. So in total, I think that California has like, I don't know, 200 or something, right? Whatever, different counties. There's probably be about, I don't know how many counties in California, 40. So um, it's logical that where people are concentrated to live, those people are gonna vote, and those people are obviously gonna have their voice represented more than the isolated places. But I know that Fresno and Bakersfield and Tulare and all those places down in the that region over there, the valley, those guys have always voted Republican, like because there's a bunch of country folk, right? There's there's all kinds of white folk that own land and they have fields and everything. Those people have voted red all the time. But it just really depends. It really is different than what people portray it out to be. But the Democrats have abused the system, right? Because no one has an opportunity to win as a Republican because the Democratic inclination has been entrenched in the state, right? So that every time you look, it's been a governor that's been Democratic, right? Then they have the legislature that's been Democratic. All of them, we just continue to vote, and I think it harkens back to places, from having the president, former president and now deceased. Kennedy, he was in California, but a lot of Mexican people loved and respected him because he was building relations with other countries, formal, friendly relations between the countries, right? I know a lot of Mexicans have an affinity, a great a respect for that gentleman right there, for the Kennedy family. And furthermore, the Bracero program. We had a lot of people, Mexicans, coming up north from the great land of the Aztecs to work over here and toil the ground under that legal program that allowed them to come over here to work a few months of the year and then go back to live in Mexico and so forth and so on. It allowed them to contribute to our country, keep their noses clean, get vetted, and if they prove themselves to be hardworking individuals that provided nutrients and food stuff to the country, if they did it back and back and back after a while, guess what? They can actually be permitted to migrate here legally. So people from the old generations passed those stories along to the newer generations so that when we vote, we do vote according to what we know, right? And all we've known is Democrats. Now, can I tell you something? Now that we're talking politics, I had something very strange happen to me yesterday, guys. It has nothing to do with boxing, but it has everything to do with politics. And I don't know if you guys are interested, but I'd like to tell it.
Yeah, might as well, bro. Go ahead.
Okay, so check this out. So when you register to vote, right, they ask you if you want to elect a party, right? I guess maybe a long time ago, I registered as X. I'm not going to say what it was that I registered as X, right? But when you register as any party, what happens is that that party sends you a lot of promotion, flyers, propaganda, so forth and so on. They're always reminding you, hey, this is our guy, so vote for this guy. But we know that as let's just say, we'll just use this as an example. When you're a Democrat, there's not only one person running for any given position that's a Democrat. Like if somebody's running for a mayor, in fact, in the cities, they really don't care about those things. They don't call themselves Republican or Democrat. But let's just assume, right? For the governor of the state, he might run as a Democrat, but there's going to be more than one person running to represent the Democratic Party. Just like there's going to be more than one person running to represent the Republican Party. Now, when you register in any party, whatever, if it's independent, the green, peace, whatever, that commission that runs those parties will send you flyers and adverts, and they'll tell you, look, this is what our guys have done. Contribute to our campaign. We want to run this guy for governor, and now you kept in the loop. But the other parties aren't going to send you anything. Why? Because you registered as something, right? So these guys have these guys that go to the local election offices, and they say, "Can I have a list of all the people that are registered as Republicans?" And then the election office will be like, "Sure. Here is a list. This is 1,000 names or so of people that are registered in our county as Republicans." So then that commission goes and starts sending those people flyers. That's why you probably ask yourself, like, how do they know what I'm voting? How do they know what to send, right? Well, it's because you basically declared your party. Now, wait up.
Hey, Rick, you wild for trying to send me that trade.
Is that horrible?
That's wild, man.
Is it horrible?
Is it-
Wait up, I'll be back, guys.
you want Justin Jefferson, and you're trying to send me DJ Moore, Debo, and Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, is that bad?
I don't need receivers, man.
Or what? Let me see. What do you need actually? Hold on. Yeah, Drake London's good all the time.
And it's crazy because I'm playing you, bro. Like, why are you trying
That's
to?
fucking right, dude.
You're wild,
Fucking,
man.
yeah. Is
Okay,
that all?
it's absolutely horrible.
Go ahead. What were you saying, Rick?
I mean, I would trade you Brees off, but fuckers, I think because he's locked in right now because it already.
I got a good squad, bro. I got good backup. Like, I don't
No,
think
you
I
have
need.
you have I just want Justin Jefferson, bro. Now, what's up, guys? Yeah, no, man.
Okay, wait. So let me continue, right? Because I just told you basically how people get your information. You go and declare as a party member, and then that party starts sending you propaganda, right? The other parties don't necessarily send you anything because the way that they see it when they go ask, what you're declaring yourself to be, they say, "Oh, this is a lost cause. There's no reason why I should send them flyers or information regarding my party to this guy if this guy feels so firmly about being a Democrat or a Republican, right?" So you may ask yourself, so how come I never get any kind of flyers from the libertarians? How come I don't get any kind of flyers from the Green or the Peace and Liberty Party? That's because you've declared yourself to be a party member of so forth and so on, right? So there's benefits to that, right? When you say that you are a registered Democrat, you get to vote in these things called the primaries. The primaries are different than what's taking place now. These are the actual elections. This is like the Super Bowl. This is where you vote for the president. This is where you vote for governors, all of those things. But there's these things called primaries. And primaries are special votes where a lot of people don't really go to vote. It takes place like maybe in the second year between the terms, or maybe just in the random time that somebody, retires. But basically, when you've registered as any party, you get to vote in these primaries. And the primaries basically are who's going to be running to represent the state or the
What
president,
the hell are you
right?
talking about, bro?
Man, you have a short memory. This is very important, bro. This is absolutely important. I know it takes a while. It takes a while, but there's no way to crunch politics, bro. There's no way to crunch politics. This is like the most important thing. I'm trying to tell you guys something before you get screwed up like I did, because I absolutely got screwed over yesterday, right? I went to vote, guys, and I told the elections office, I said, I don't want to be registered as this party. They're like, okay, what party do you want to register? And I said, I don't want to register as anything. They're like, why not? I go, because I want to get everybody to fight for my vote, right? I don't want nobody to think that my vote is granted, that they can just count on it. I want people to work hard to gain my trust and therefore gain my vote. And they said, are you registering as no party preference? I said, yes. You go, oh, sure. I go, do you know what that means? I go, yeah, it means that all of these people are going to send me flyers so that I can know who's the best candidate. And they said, nope, that's not what it means. That might happen. They might go over here and they might say, oh, look, Warp Speed or Captain Kirk. And I'll explain why Captain Kirk. Well, Captain Kirk, he's not registered as anything. Let's see how we can get him to our side. Let's see if maybe we can talk to the guy, see what his opinion is about things. These are the kind of guys we have to get on our side. That's my thought. But they said, no, you may or may not get that happening, but you sure aren't going to vote in the primaries. And then they explained what that means. Okay. When President Trump was running to represent the Republicans, he ran against like JD Vance and Ramashadi or whatever the heck that Indian guy is. He ran against like 4 or 5 different guys, right? And of course, the primaries allow you to vote to see who's going to represent the Republicans, who's going to represent the Democrats. And Trump won, and Biden won for the Democratic Party, right? That's the power of the primary vote. So I like to vote for those things, right? Because I want to have a voice in who represents any party, whether that's good or bad. Like, for example, you can play the monkey wrench role. When you're the monkey wrench, you can say that you're, let's say, Republican, but let's say that the person that's going to represent the Republicans is so popular, like Donald Trump, that 90% of people are going to vote for him. What a monkey wrench guy could do is be like, you know what? I'm not going to vote for Trump since we already know he's going to win. So I'm just going to vote for the Democratic candidate because you can vote for anybody in the primaries, but I'm going to vote for the worst candidate to represent the Democrats. Now, you're probably asking, why would he do that? Why would he throw your vote? Because you're actually voting in hopes that the Democrats vote in the worst candidate. Why? Because when he faces Trump, he's gonna get his ass beat,
You
right?
made my computer sleep 2 times, bro. That's crazy. And you see how the screen goes off
Dream, does any of this make sense to you, bro? Does any of this matter, bro?
You try to be an independent. This is how you talk, bro. Long story short, you try to be an independent, a flip flopper, and then the bookies, right? They were like, we're not getting you an opportunity to do flip flop on us. We're not gonna give you information for what you're gonna do. You ain't no independent, so sit your ass down. And then vote for your primaries. That's how the other side says,
Dream, does any of this make sense to you, bro?
the Democrats are tarnishing themselves by having weak representation. Done. You went 30 minutes of just rambling about nonsense. Now,
Dream, does any of this make sense to you, bro? Because this guy is obviously a Democrat.
listen to
anyways,
this.
guys.
So, Golden Boy had a clapback Thursday. It was all right.
Yeah.
It was like, and he had
Clapback Thursday.
confidence for this fight that's happening today. Darius versus, old boy Trevor McCumbee. Not just joking. And then there was Floyd Schofield probably getting knocked out by Rene Yes Tiron. Anyway, Golden Boy had his press conference, and since it was a Halloween weekend, he wore the Joker outfit. He looks pretty fucking good, And
Rick, are you working?
Yes, sir. But check this out.
Okay.
Hearn. That is my buddy. Wherever my buddy goes, I go. My buddy Eddie. Eddie, am I sad or happy?
Oh, that's hilarious, bro. Oh, that's so good, dude.
That's
fucking
diabolical, bro. That's diabolical.
Like
Dude,
Rick says,
it is
classic.
What the fuck?
Classic. Yeah, dude, that's good, bro. Like he chose the right guy, to be for Halloween, bro. But yeah, man.
What? It gets worse. It gets worse. Did you actually hear the interview?
I actually stopped right there.
So
and then we started talking about it.
look. Literally, it's the very first thing he says. Just listen to the very first thing. Just play it. He'll just break into it, like maybe 30 seconds into it.
Into where I just stopped it, or
yeah, jump 30 seconds from there.
You guys have a lot of things to say to one another. It's not personal, really, right? It's business, it's entertainment. Facts. That's all I do is facts. On the fight game. Yeah. I don't bash anybody personally. I just do the facts. That's the Joker. Well, let's talk about Floyd Schofield.
Here we go.
Amazing talent. There's a lot coming up for him, a lot of possibilities looming for him in 2025. Can we kind of talk about what the game plan is here? Yeah, so, I mean, look, he has a tough fight in front of him on Saturday, so and he wins impressively, I mean, look, every fighter has to win impressive. They can't just go around and I'm gonna box and calling out their names. Oh my gosh, fight hard, fight with passion because.
So that's 30
bro.
In. What are you talking about, bro?
Yeah.
So,
hey, bro, go ahead.
I'll go, Dream.
Like, is that you breathing into it, bro? I'm not trying to hear that.
I know. Hey,
I know what you guys talking about.
You can't. If Oscar's fucking playing the character, he's being himself. Like he fits that character so well, bro.
It's just him, bro. It's just him. Like,
yeah,
that's exactly how he is, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's all right that he's
that is you.
You know.
It seems like you guys have a very short attention span. Like you guys can make it past 30 seconds or whatever.
No,
So
I can
basically,
make
let me
it
just
past
break
30
into it,
seconds. Hell,
right?
I can do it the whole
This
8
guy
minutes.
says
Might
this
just get
guy says
freaked
that
out.
he's been he was inspired by an a biography pick, a biopic of
Of
none
Vince
other than Vince McMahon. Do you
McMahon.
guys know anything about Vince McMahon?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he fucking owns the Fortune 500 company,
Okay, is that all he does?
Nah,
and
okay, so he
he has
sold.
a Kiss My Ass Club.
Nah, he partnered with UFC, and they're called Universal something. I forget like their stock name, but they partnered with UFC, and they pretty much got like made Dana White hella money, and yeah, that's what happened, bro. But he's a mogul, bro. Like he had to get rid of some of his like rights to the WWE because of some like lawsuit or some shit. But um he's yeah, he's like iconic, bro. Like his figure, like he could have been the next Trump or
Man, these
something.
guys are so clueless. You guys don't.
What are you
There you
talking
go. The Mexican cheese says he got some bad charges. You guys don't know
Yeah.
nothing about Vince McMahon, do you?
Yeah, no, yeah, dude, he got some pretty bad charges, bro. Like some
What are they?
shit.
Yeah, he got
I forget. Yeah,
harassment, assault charges, bro.
it's
We're
like
not
Diddy.
oblivious to it.
So
It's like Diddy or something like that.
exactly, it's
But what do you
like
expect
Diddy.
these men in speedos and tights? What are you talking about? Why is that a shock?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't matter. See, you're supposed to keep it on the hush. Look, I may like speedos and tights. You don't know. I'm not gonna tell you.
do.
Yeah, I may, but I'm not gonna tell you, right? I'm gonna keep it in the bedroom. We're just talking about the same thing. Look at what the Mexican G says, right? He says, I cannot support Democrats because they are constantly pushing the homosexual agenda on the youth. So here's the thing. They are pushing it. The problem is we don't have no problems with homosexuals. I was pro love and pro gay people from before, like way longer than you guys, right? Before it was popular, you can say that. Why? Because I'm a hippie. Because I care about peace and I care about especially love, right? But the thing is this: I don't push my agenda on you, right? And I don't push the other stuff. See, my focus is on love, not the sex part. The sex, if you want to have sex with whoever you want to, that's fine. But don't push the sex on me. I don't want to see you having sex in the sidewalk. I don't want to see you injecting your drugs in your veins in the sidewalk. See, that's the problem that I have. You want to do things, do it behind closed doors. And the problem with men such as Vince McMahon and Diddy and everything like that is they try to, right? They try to keep it behind closed doors. Not really too much, really, because these guys are pretty, flamboyant and braggadocious about it. What happens is they bring it to the fore. They tell people what kind of freaks they are. Nobody likes to hear that. So the more you delve into the accusations of Mr. Vince McMahon, man, he had a secretary. If you believe the texts, he had a secretary that he would make her do some of the most heinous things you can imagine. But not only him, but with others.
Details.
Man, I don't know if I want to get into it, bro. Like, I don't
it's
know
all
the
good.
details. I forget those kind of stuff.
Did she like he put her on a dog leash and like crawl for me right here in like
How did we get to this
water?
subject?
What are we talking about?
Well, because what I'm trying to say is the very first thing, besides, of course, the Schofield thing that Oscar talked about, his upcoming fight this tonight, actually, he says right after that, he says, I was watching a Vince McMahon biopic and I was inspired.
That
And
could mean
that is
anything.
way more diabolical, bro, because
That
if
could
you
mean
know anything,
anything.
yeah, but in the context, you already know that Oscar De La Hoya is a freak, and he's saying that he's inspired by a super freak. Come
Yeah,
on
but
now.
you don't know his full story though. Like you don't like Vince McMahon. Like yeah, he was doing all that shit, but dude, there was Epstein doing it. Diddy was doing it. But dude, like with
Jeffrey
McMahon, like
Epstein
he
doing it.
hold on, he changed lives, bro. Like he changed. Like that's like I'm saying, like the work he actually put in, like all like besides all the scandalous shit, like he actually like Like he's the reason why WWE is where it is right now, and that's just a fact, bro. Like,
Facts.
yeah, and he's the reason why it is where it's at right now. He goes on vacation with his writers, and he said, and he's literally vacationing it, but he's working at the same time. Like there's trust. I watched a lot of his of people who worked with him, like Undertaker and like The Rock and all these other guys. Like they talk about like how they talk about him, like that's their father figure, bro. Like they look up to him like that. Like these grown ass men, scary looking 6'9" men, like the Undertaker, like Kane. You know, they like
Bobby
they love this
Lashley,
guy.
John Cena, Dwayne
Bro,
Johnson.
that's literally
Rock.
Vince McMahon's kids. He made all of them stars, bro. Like they
Yeah,
can
yeah,
do
yeah. No, I get that, bro. I get that they would have a respect, but that does not mean you should get away with doing whatever you want. See,
And
that's
he
a different thing. For like even Adolf Hitler, he did incredibly good things for his country. He did incredibly good things for a lot of people. He also did
yeah,
some
but okay,
despicable
hold on.
things.
Yeah, but you're saying pretty much like you're insinuating he wants to be like the bad part of his life, Oscar. You know
yeah,
what
Oh
so
no, 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 no. All I'm
I mean?
saying
You're
is,
no, that's
insinuating
you know
already.
when people say,
No,
no,
yeah,
you
that's
weren't.
no,
exactly what
No,
you
no,
you
you
weren't.
know when people
do,
say
like
things like
that
a Freudian slip, when people say a Freudian slip, that's what I'm hinting at. I'm not
wasn't it.
necessarily. I'm not saying. And here's the other thing, though. Can you actually deny that Oscar de la Hoya is embracing his villain role? The fact that we're watching this video actually just proves it. He loves
Proves
the
what?
villain, bro. He's accepted who he is, bro. He
Bro,
accepts that he's. Dude, if you're gonna say that he's not a cokehead and he's not a sex freak and that he has not accepted that, then I don't know what you're doing reporting boxing, bro,
is
because
he
that's
breaking
what
the
he is.
law?
Oh,
He's
so
not breaking the law. I'm not saying he's breaking the law.
Okay, say
So let
that
me
then.
address a couple of points right here. So what you're
What?
saying is this. So before the Oscar the lawyer, you're talking about Vince McMahon. I'm not saying Vince McMahon gets a pass because he's done all this and built a lot of millions, built a lot of people, and he stole behind closed doors on a secretary. He does, right? Yeah, I'm not saying all of that. But in public TV, they used to have a segment on Raw TV, WWE Raw, Monday nights. They used to have this thing called the Kiss My Ass Club. He
Mhm.
would make these legends, and he would pull down his pants, and people would, "Ah!" And he would, demoralize him, and they would smooch on his left or right butt cheek. So
Mhm.
what you're saying to me isn't shocking. It's just a matter of time. Someone was like, "Bro, no mas. Like this is crazy, bro. What is this? Way too far, you know." So that's just what that is. Now, what trying to differentiate. You jump the gun and say, "Oh man, he's inspired by a biopic of Vince McMahon," and you're only thinking that he's inspired by the nasty part. Oh man, the overly gross, the politicos of men and stuff like that. And you're like, nah, bro, he's probably inspired by like the story, the biopic that usually good parts. I'm pretty sure he's not just focused on the negative parts, which you
Yeah.
kind of were referring to with, hey, he's embracing the villain
Hey,
role, the Joker, and he is
Rick.
what he is and stuff. And it's like,
Rick, he's also going as far as the fact that he decided to dress up as Joker. Now
right.
he's like that's wild, dude. Like,
And yeah, you're jumping to
No, 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 no. And you're and
now
guess what? You're right. No, no, no. And
you're
that's
not
another point.
wrong,
See, but
but
none of that
you're being
discredits what I'm saying.
disingenuous.
None of that discredits what I'm saying, though, homie Ricky. What I'm trying to tell you is
but you put it
this.
out there.
It doesn't matter. No, he put it out there.
You did.
He did. All I'm doing is reporting on it. I
No,
didn't
you
tell him to
correlated.
dress. I didn't tell him to dress as a
You're
Joker,
correlating. You're correlating.
bro.
You're
I
correlating
look.
it.
I did not tell him to put it out there that he's inspired by Vince
You put
McMahon.
it out
I
there.
No, I put it out to you because you were ignorant, but everybody else knows that. Yeah, bro,
Whoa,
you
whoa,
didn't know
whoa,
that.
no, no.
You're assuming that I'm saying something. All I'm telling you is this: everything that the homie Ricky just said is true. The fact that he probably watched the biopic that told the incredible story of taking a small little Massachusetts wrestling organization and taking it to a multi-billion-dollar industry where he's been in negotiations with the Saudis, where he's traveled all over the world, where he's taken the Big Show Japan, where Mayweather has beaten him up in Las Vegas. All of those things, all of those incredible memories. Yeah, of course, that's part of the things that Oscar De La Hoya probably witnessed in that biopic that inspired him. The way that he picked up something, took it up to the top. But you think they probably glossed over the fact that Vince McMahon has these incredible accusations and that Oscar didn't look at that and say, hey, guess what? You can be a freak and you can still take over the world. You can still build an incredible industry. You don't think he accepts that? You don't think he looks at that and sees like, you know what? There's some redemption. I'm not the only one. If you don't think that he looks at that and says, you know what? I'm not the only one, then I don't know what to tell you. If you're trying to ignore this, man, that's crazy, bro.
So this is what I'm gonna say is it's the duality of man. So, like for example, George Washington, right, first president of the United States, he probably did a lot of heinous crimes against Native Americans. You know what I mean? Let's say Abraham Lincoln, he abolished slavery and all of these things as the 13th, 14th president, but I'm pretty sure he killed a lot of people too. The generals of the Civil War from the South, Robert Lee. You know what I mean? All of these guys, it's duality of man. So supposedly some Republicans will go off and say like out of some bad comes some good. And you change a bad situation and you make this great country of America, let's say, you know, where you. So I'm not saying the ends justify the means, but some people can attribute to that. So again, so Golden Boy, you have to really understand this. Now, the dude's a cross-dresser. The dude likes to party, likes to do drugs, right? My only problem with any of that is just don't drive under the influence. And I think he's got a couple of DUI, right? That's my only big thing. Aside from that, it's like, bro, if you want to cross-dress in privacy, that's on you. Now, whether those people exploited Oscar, they said, and they try to blackmail him and extortion him and all of these things, that's on them. That's a crime. He was just trying to do it on the confines of his privacy, but they exploited him. They try to embarrass his image, ruin his reputation, you know what I mean, of this innocent, boyish look, whatever's. And the only thing that I've ever heard from Oscar is like when he was an Olympian or you know, competing, something happened in Mexico with like a 15-year-old, 16-year-old. That's what I heard. Now, I don't know if he was acquitted or if it was dismissed or whatever the case may be, but it was a pretty big scandal, you know, and things of that nature. So I don't really know too much about all that stuff, but you're making out to see like Oscar is like this ultra like villain and stuff. And the reality is, I don't really look at it like that.
No, no, that's not. Look, guys, that's not what I'm saying. All I'm trying. Look, all I said was it was diabolical that under the context and what we know of Oscar and his history, which again, I completely agree with you. I have no problem with him even cross-dressing. In fact, I'll go out there and say that he is not a cross-dresser.
Oh, I thought you were gonna do it. Said I did it myself. I was like, what?
No, I'll go out there and say that he's not even a cross-dresser. Right? He was just a person that was hepped up on goofballs, and he had a bunch of nice, beautiful ladies with him and a big old mound of coke right there at the table. And they were having a heck of a fun time. They're like, Oscar, you have some nice legs. Do I? And he put on my high heels and he puts them on. Maybe it was I think it was actually a Halloween week when all of those rumors came out. All I'm saying is this. He was just a party guy. And somebody exploited that and it violated that trust in the friendship. Probably for some gain, and that's it. I don't even fault him for that. Again, I don't fault him for that. I'm not saying nothing. All I said it was diabolical. It's diabolical that Oscar De La Hoya, in light of what we know in his drug use, he's admitted that he it got inspired, and it makes sense, right? A guy who picked himself up by nothing from the bottom to the top, made it to the highest levels of society and of renown and of fame and of gain. This is Oscar. This is Vince McMahon. Both of them have been accused. All I'm telling you is if you don't think that they sympathize with each other and look at each other and say, like, you know what? This validates me. That's crazy if you don't see that. And I don't have no problem with that.
What does it validate that Oscar did?
I don't know.
It's the same thing that homie Ricky said. It's the duality of man. It's the duality of man. I guess you're
trying to leap and bound that the thing that Vince McMahon is probably going to go to questioning and be deposed of and have to stand on court. You're trying to say that that's just what this dude is inspiring to be. Like, oh man, that reinvigorated that spirit of me. That, hey, dude, if he's doing it too, and he has his grand story, it justifies why I do what I you.
this is
But you
No, no, no. It
no, hold on.
actually allows him to think that he can make it even more. Because
No,
guess
this
what?
is
Stop,
the
bro.
thing.
Hold on, bro.
Hold on. This.
I'm gonna stop you right there, bro. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
to a complete other segment and focus on the facts, bro, because that is just conjecture. And I'm not saying that.
Conjecture. He lost his job, bro.
Nah,
He's no
bro.
longer the WWE president. Do you
No,
know
he
who the
didn't lose
WWE
anything.
president is?
I'm
He
not
didn't
talking
lose.
about Triple H, and then I'm talking about what you're.
It's The Rock, the
What,
big time libertarian Hawaiian. The
Nah, bro.
Rock.
I'm not talking about that stupid shit. I'm talking about what you're trying to accuse of Oscar being inspired about.
Yeah.
That thing is just complete nonsense.
I
Bro.
said it was diabolical. That's all I said.
No, you.
And he said it was inspiring to him. What's wrong with you guys, man?
But
Anyways,
you're-
move on.
you're-
Move
Hold
on.
on. Hold on.
Move
Just
on.
We'll move
Hold on.
on because you're
Go
completely.
dream. Go dream. Go dream.
One more instance. Like Vince McMahon's image, right? Like he is a character. Like he is a WWE character, right? Like the persona that he represented, like as a WWE character, as a wrestler, like he was the bad guy. He was always the bad guy. He's like the Donald Trump of the WWE. Like he was the boss. He was known. He was the character. That was his character, and he was always the bad guy. So like that's what Oscar is talking about. His persona, like all this BS that he went through. Like the truth will set him free. Like he probably like I heard some bad shit from Vince McMahon, but we're talking about the persona. Like that like you know what I'm saying? Like he was a WWE character and he was playing as the owner, but he was actually the owner at the same time. So that's what he was referring to, bro. Like there all that work he put in, being a character and the owner at the same time. So I don't know about the shit that he's gonna be prosecuted by, or it's gonna make him look bad, but that's it. That's just it.
Yeah, yeah. Eddie Meddy and the Mexican are. Let's talk about boxing because these guys have some very good points.
Yeah, because you're trying to make it, bro. I'm trying to have fun.
Dude, you guys have slow. You guys, all I said is that the guy was diabolical, and you guys agreed. And then when I told you why, you're just like, "Oh my god, my hero!" Shut up.
I thought you were
Shut
gonna
up.
be diabolical because of his "Hello, Eddie." My friend.
Yeah, I know.
That's
You're like,
nothing.
that laugh is
That's
diabolical.
nothing.
And then you were like, "Hey, dude, 30 minutes later, he's gonna fucking shit
Oh
himself."
my god.
Yeah,
You guys
I
are
know.
you guys are so easily impressed. The guy puts on makeup and then all of a sudden that's creepy and diabolical. Nah, the diabolical is the psyche, the psychological. But whatever, guys. You guys watch cartoons. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me read a couple of these messages. The Mexican G goes, no, I think I might have read that one. He goes, China for okay. Southern California repping. Eddie Hearn talks a lot of shit, but Oscar would mop the floor with him, and he would do it without breaking a sweat. Easily. Mexican boxing, number one goes, I might lose. Golden Boy matches them tonight. Kid Austin is barely 22 and already stepped up versus a seasoned veteran guy that has faced contenders in Tellez. Maybe at age 25, Kid Austin beat one for sure, but barely at 22, and maybe a step up too soon. He don't has a bit of a footwork and is athletic in his own right, and he has a chin. He just looks really tough. You can tell it won't be an easy night for the Kid Austin. But if Kid can knock him out, that's a statement. The Mexican G goes, once the truth comes out, it erases anything good the person has done.
Unfortunately.
Oscar is at the point in his life where he should have been irrelevant. But this whole persona he's come to embrace has kept his name relevant. He's a marketing genius.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
He's been called names all his life. He's so numb to it, to the point that now he generates money off the bullying. He's endured. The Mexican G goes, chopping up lines helps expand your mind. At least that's what I've heard. I got hit on by KO around number 9. I think Tellez is a better version of Venado. He can only get better. Eddie Hearn is a villain. I've heard about the case in Mexico, but there was no conviction. And then Mexican boxing goes, he got drugged. The Mexican G goes, Oscar does seem a little fruity, weird in his voice, and the clothing that he wears with fishnets shirt. Can you specify which cross dressers you're referring to? As I know 2 types. Dressed as the opposite gender, and the ones that wear white robes with a cross in the center and a hood.
Wow. Man.
Damn.
Matty, he's just cutting deep, bro.
Hey,
I'm a Catholic, bro.
shit, dude. That's the hell right there. There we
No,
go.
but you know what? I'm a bad Catholic, like everybody.
I got Umberto beating Abraham Nova. Yeah, man. So yeah, no, look, you guys look. There's a crazy documentary. It's true. It came out on HBO. It's called Mia Culpa. Something about the Catholic Church, and they start talking about like the digging of the priests and how like it goes all the way to the cardinal and the pope and how these people knew and they were kind of like keeping in house in discovery until it was revealed from all of this case. It's a really good documentary. I think that's what it's called. Mia Maxima Culpa.
No,
Maxima
it's called
Culpa.
mea culpa. Mea
Yeah,
culpa.
Mea Maxima Culpa, Silence in the House of God. It got an 8 out of 10 in IMDb, which is the film meta based in 2012. Fuck, that's just 2012. Yeah, so it's a really good documentary. If you guys be like, man, I don't got HBO or whatever's, I didn't tell you this, but you guys could probably find it there. And it's called Mia Maxima Culpa, the Silence House of God or something.
Hey, I'm watching it's on TNT right now. I think it's a Matchroom card. I'm streaming it right now, but I realized I don't know who these two fighters are, but they're doing a face to face like on a sit down table, and in the middle is that dude from Ireland, that dude that fought Leo Santa Cruz, Carl Frampton.
Wow.
I
Yeah,
like
he
Paul
works.
Franklin.
Yeah, I think he works like he's a commentator or analysis or something like that for them.
Correct.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. That's cool.
And you said this is on TNT?
Yeah, TNT Sports.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm streaming it on damn, I shouldn't put that on blast, but
Now let me ask you guys a question, since you guys are kind of want to go into the deep and the psychology of man. Do you think
oh man.
that a lot of these mindsets and a lot of this odd behavior that we're seeing like rise to the forefront even more so is due to the ubiquity of porn?
Oh yeah.
Can you say that again? That should sound crazy.
Sure, I gotta hit that with that $10 words like that. No, you think all of these behaviors that you see is because of social media and the easy access?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So dude, dude, like I
Big time.
deleted I deleted my I just deactivated my Instagram, bro, and I'm like I don't feel like distracted, you know. I'm like, okay, because I'm building some shit, you know. So I'm like focused on
Locking
that.
in, yes, sir.
Yeah, and I was like, damn, like I'm not like yeah, it's just I don't feel like going out as much. No, I'm just kidding, but it's just different, bro. You're more clear minded. I guess I'm more focused on because it's my algorithm, right? I'm just worried about what my algorithm shows me, and sometimes BS will pop up and it'll put me in this rabbit hole, you know. And I don't like doing that, especially when it's something stupid and I'm spending like 20 minutes on it and I'm like, fuck, man, it's pointless ass shit.
Like conspiracies.
What happened?
Like
Yeah.
conspiracy theories.
Yeah, like, honestly, it's the dumbest things you can even think about, you know. It's
Yeah.
just like, you know, but with this, with just having the podcast channel page, like my algorithms just boxing, and sometimes like it'll be some funny memes, you know, because
Yeah.
so
No,
it's just
yeah, I
better,
hear
bro.
you,
Like
bro.
I kind of agree.
Yeah, no,
You-
I hear you, bro. You click on one picture of some chick, and then your fucking IG is bombarded with like 150. It's like, bro, what the fuck is this, bro? Like, I'm just going through quick, trying to see my sports, see my comedy channels, and next thing you know, this algorithm decides, boom, 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 and it's just like. And here's another thing: like, if let's say you have a friend or a relative that likes a post, that thing the algorithm will shape it to be like, oh, you can see and view the comment or like that a person that you follow, you know, and it's just like that's fucking strange. Like, I don't care what my people are like are following. Like, what's that got to do with me? You know, just because we friend each other, we know a person during a certain context, doesn't mean I want to, get into this thing like that privacy, and then the fact that it's like I don't really care too much. I like what I like. I follow what I follow. I don't care if my boy follows 5,000 people. I don't necessarily need to see that algorithm on my shit, And it's
Hmm.
just like, damn, I got to get through all this filler just to fucking see, oh, this is the Colorado Buffaloes website. Like, god damn, bro. Like, it just like, let me just, but anyway, yeah, no, I completely agree with a lot of these things that you see and these, not just in the West, mostly it's the Western thing. But these issues happen way before, and we read books like the Symposium, with Plato and Socrates and all these dudes. These guys are talking about these same old things and these freaking amazing literature that everybody tells you to read during philosophy class. So they've been having these issues from the dawn of time. You know what I mean? But it's just now even lingering to the forefront. I think like 30 minutes ago, Speed was saying like, hey, you do drugs and do your speedos and your slogs and in your at your home and your privacy. But when you go to public, bro, cut the line. Indecent exposure. So I don't understand why that seems so radical. Like, all right, bro. So if you want to be someone doing all these things, do it at the privacy of your home. Don't go
Yep.
down to Safeway, freaking expose your whole thing. And guess what? There's a fucking kid trying to buy a Mad magazine or freaking some chocolates or a bag of potato chips, and you got like, what the hell is this? And then the
Yep.
parents to get mad. Like, yeah, I'm supposed to get fucking mad. I'm trying to keep my sanity and the peaceful and the innocent mind of my kids, and you got these fucking dudes doing their thing all in front of like, what are we doing? So I
Yep.
don't understand where we got so far into like, oh no, that's okay. No, in what world is this thing?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah. No, it's that simple. It really is that simple. Keep
it's
it in the
simple.
bed, and you'll be all right. Now, going back to and you know what? Look, again, I am not against you having fun, practicing and displaying your affection or your appreciation for the other individual, or even your pleasurable, sexual proclivities, whatever. I have no problem with it, right? You can do it in your bed. In fact, the other day, don't say what it was about, Dream, but I think maybe help me there was there also. And there was this video on Instagram, and he goes, "Bro, that's is." I think he asked me, "Is that gay?" Right? And I said, "No, that's not." And he goes, "Why not?"
Oh
Look,
yeah, I
because
sent Rick
well,
the
don't
same
say.
thing.
Oh, okay, but don't say what it was. Don't say what it was, because I don't want to
What?
freak these guys
No,
out.
remember I asked you the same question.
Yeah,
Hold
he
on,
didn't answer though. He didn't answer, and
No, I asked him directly though. Like I sent you guys the same meme because I
oh
was like, I have never seen this before. So I sent
yeah,
you and Rick, and my other boy Mike, the same thing, and I was like, uh, I need your, I was like, I need your thoughts because that shit was funny, bro. But
yeah, I
yeah.
agree. I thought it was funny.
Oh
I
wait, is
thought it
it
was
the
improper.
microphone? Is it like they had Ray J interviewing and then he does that thing?
No, no,
No, no, no,
no.
no,
That's
no,
another one. This guy, I
no.
sent him the same one, and he didn't say anything.
Yeah, no, he
But
didn't say nothing, and I told him, I go,
no, no,
no,
no,
it's
no.
not.
You didn't say anything.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
it
okay.
was
I
from
didn't say nothing about that, I guess. But the other one I did, and Rick,
yeah.
and that one I don't remember him saying something, but I said, no, it's not. And you go, and you said something to the effect of, why not? And I go, because that's a girl. It's a guy and a girl.
I don't like
Simple as that,
speaking
right?
in tongues. What the hell are you guys?
Yeah, just say it.
Okay, 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 whatever. So I don't know how these things come up, right? Like the algorithm. But
Yeah.
Dream got something where there's like a baseball game going on, and these guys have like a couple has like prime seats like right up in the front, right? And the guy is standing up over the rail. His significant other is behind them, sitting down. The guy is like screaming or whatever, and like most fat asses, his pants are hanging like a plumber's, right? And there's this person that's catching these freaks doing some weird freaky stuff. So this guy pulls out his phone and he starts recording the lady who's now in back of him, obviously, his pants hanging, and she starts massaging his butt, like sort of
It's
like
not his
touching.
butt, it's his lower back, right?
He
And
calls it lower back, and I call it upper ass, right? Because it's the upper part of the ass,
I
right?
mean, I know what you guys are talking about.
Okay,
yeah,
okay. So she starts massaging what I call the upper part of ass, and he's like, "That's the lower back, bro. That's the lower back." And I'm like saying, "Not in my world," especially when you're a fat ass. But anyways,
Let me see if I can find that. Actually, hold on.
I sent it to you. I sent it to you on IG.
And he asked, man, and she's like, bro, she's massaging him and like touching him all over, and she has this look about her, like
But
he's intent, like there's
Yeah, but
intent behind what she's doing.
he's lunged over with his elbows on the rails, so he's
So
kinda
he's
like,
hunched.
yeah, he's hunched over, and his chick is sitting on the bleacher, and she's like literally facing his back, and then she's like going hella high and she's going hella low, like just rubbing that back hella, like a deep
Like you
tissue
would do.
massage, bro.
Like you
it-
would do, right? If you had a fine girl in front of you, like if she's like doing something in front of you and she hunches over, and
but
you're in
even
back
then,
of her.
even then, everyone's looking. It's like,
No, I know they completely
Huh?
forgot about it, right?
yeah,
They
like-
just zoned everybody out.
yeah. It's just like okay, like
find it.
like if it's a dude doing it to a chick, then he's simping, and that's like
I don't know what simping
common-
means.
That's simping means like you're
You
like
know,
you're-
taking me stuff.
like you're being all lovable, like you're just.
No, I don't know. I call it grabbing ass.
Well, nah, it's just you're just
No.
like
Simping is being extremely thirsty to the point like you're
Yeah.
willing to like beg. Like, oh, can
Nah.
you just please take a picture with me, hey, please?
No, no. This
No,
lady
but-
was not big. This lady was not
Giving the
begging.
woman
This
affection,
lady.
no,
No,
simping.
no, I
Giving a
didn't say
compliment, that's not simping. But if you're like to the point where you're just like, bro, that's embarrassing, bro.
Nah, but
What
I
you
said
doing? Mind the fuck up, bro. Like,
yeah,
fuck.
but yeah, like with the
begging, bro.
dude, with the
But
with
that's
the
not
dude,
simping either.
yeah, with the dude, yeah, with the dude.
That's
doing it-
simping in my book. If you're just fucking
Let him talk, bro. Let him talk. I want to see what he thinks his
Yeah,
tipping is.
with the
Yeah,
dude,
give me the definition.
yeah, with the dude doing it with the chick. No, but you're right. That's pretty much what it is. But with the chick doing it to a dude, she's not really being thirsty.
No,
Like, I
she
don't
was
know.
hungry. She was
Yeah.
hungry, bro.
Yeah, she was hungry, bro. Like
She was hungry.
she wanted to eat his ass or something.
Why
no,
you
he-
saying, bro? Why did you say it?
But it happens, man. It happens. But
Yo, man, you guys are wild today, bro.
Oh man.
Speed with his fucking Vince McMahon opened a can of worms, say some crazy shit today. But
Yeah,
nah,
man.
man, it goes like this. So I looked it up, the true definition, and I was more spot on. Simping is an internet slang term that describes someone who is overly attentive and submissive to another person, often in the hopes of gaining affection or sexual relationships.
Yeah, no, guys. This was worse than look. The guy, look, if you're a fine looking girl, bro, and your pants are hanging low and I see upper ass or lower back, whatever you want to call it. If I see that, bro, I'm touching. I'm not touching, I'm massaging. I'm buttering that thing up. I'm getting it ready for supper. I'm gonna have a night to remember. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna lick my chops. I'm gonna do all kinds of weird stuff, right? And this lady was doing the same thing, bro. She was looking at this guy's behind with intent, like looking at him like when it's Thanksgiving and the turkey is right there in the oven, and you're looking at the little window of the oven, and you're like, oh, it's looking good. And then you start getting the little butter, you start putting on top. You're like, oh, like Homer Simpson would do with a donut. That's what she was doing, bro. She was looking at his ass like a donut, bro.
but
Like
it's-
Homer Simpson donut.
it's the principle, though, right? You're doing it.
From what I remember, they were at a Tampa Bay Buccaneer football game, and they had pretty much front row seats on the end zone.
Yeah.
And this dude was leaned up against the rails wearing a Baker Mayfield jersey. And this white woman, skinny woman, whatever, is probably his wife, was massaging his lower back. But the shirt was raised up so you can not see his butt crack, but you can see his lower back. And she's caressing, massaging, like couples and, like your wife would massage your shoulders and you would massage her back, sensually or whatever the case may be. Nothing is wrong with that, right? But in the manner of how they did it and where they were doing it and how he was like arching his back and it's like, you're a little too comfortable. You're a little too comfortable in the open sea right now. The fucking people, they're gonna be recording. What the hell is he doing, bro?
Yeah.
Like if you're hurt, go to the restroom in privacy or something. It's like, bro, there's kids that are just like, yo, we don't do shit like that.
Yeah.
What the hell are you
Regardless.
talking about, bro? No, if you do that, I'll smack the shit out you. fucking tighten up, bro. Go
Hey,
get a
regardless of
yeah,
who
weird
did,
shit in public. I'm surprised nobody called them out. And that's the difference in this generation
yeah,
is that everybody is looking to take out their phone and go world star. They're trying to go viral rather than be like, hey, yo, bro, sit your ass down and get an ice pack, bro. We're trying to watch the game. That shit is gross. Now, you might
yeah,
just think, nah, it's just an ice pack. I thought, man, that was some, some gay ass shit.
yeah. And
Can
then,
you
like,
look at it, bro? Can you find it?
I couldn't find it, and I had to block the screen because it was redirecting me to some YouTube nasty stuff, and I was like, nah, I'm cool. I ain't watching all that.
nah, but it's just like regardless of what side it is, I guess it's worse. Like it's kind of more weird because you don't see those instances where the dude's lunged over, kind of arched his back, and fucking getting a massage, bro. But like, you never see that. That's the only reason why it's like, bro, what the
And
fuck?
there's a
Like,
reason you don't see that, though.
yeah, there's a reason why you don't see that. But regardless, it's like you're in the front fucking row, you know, like like I can see you being sneaky and trying to do it in the last row of the stadium, and no one's gonna see you for sure, you know.
I found it.
Oh, you found it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But
I'm sending it to you, homie.
What do you want me to do with it? Like,
I know
I want you to post it or something.
he can't show it on this
don't
computer.
post it. You guys can just find it somehow, some way. Yeah, Mexican boxing. I feel like I've addressed this. So those 13K subscribers, they come from like years of just people like, oh, let me watch some highlights or Timothy Bradley, Jesse Vargas fight. And these people just subscribe, you know what I mean? And like, I don't really be active, so they don't really, I don't really have like a lot of engagement because of that particular reason. It's not active, it's kind of like I'm not saying that it's a boring channel, but it's like you don't really know who operates the channel. You don't know really what it stands for, and things like that. So it's, that's why like the channel doesn't really like have like 100 or over like 200 people on the chat because it's just like, it's not. And when I created this channel, it was just to like, this channel was like 10 years ago. You're looking at a span of over 3,000 days. But when I first started, I did start talking about it. During that time, I was also competing. I was like, all right, whatever. So I was more documenting. But as like time came up, you get a little older, you get these other jobs that consume more of your time, you go to school or whatever the case may be. It just became in the bar. Like, it's in the back. Like, whatever. But somehow these people just stayed and they never left. So it's just kind of interesting how like, I don't know why they would continue to be subscribed to it. You know what I mean? But hey, I appreciate that. It allows me to get certain perks. Not nothing like financial perks or anything like that, but like if I really hustled and pushed hard, it would be beneficial. But I'm a lazy motherfucker, so that's not gonna happen. But yeah, man, look, we talked about a lot of stuff, but just to recap, and Mexican Boxing #1 has done a great job transcribing the events and kind of like almost what he's been writing is essentially what me and Drews talked about. I don't know how long has this live been, like 2 hours ago. We've been talking about how there might be a lot of upsets and the Golden Boy curse might land today. Because there's no such thing as a matchroom curse or a boxing curse like there is in football called the Madden curse. Anyway, so there's no curse in the sport of boxing. But usually in boxing, there is a curse. When you start talking smack and not focusing on your fight, you end up losing your fight. And Golden Boy in this situation, he's been lambasting and being factual and telling everybody that Eddie Hearn has this matchroom curse and 14 of his recent fighters have more or less lost. Well, like Mexican Boxing and me and Drew have been saying in the beginning of the video, Daruis Fulghum, yes, fighting Floyd Schofield, they're probably going to win today because of certain factors. They're very young, maybe not battle tested. Today is their tests, and there's a lot of fighters that can't overcome because of these, maybe they're fragile or they never fix their defensive mistakes that leave them compromised for counter punches. They never really fought in tough, credible opponents where they've needed to fix these mistakes because their opponents haven't been able to capitalize on them. Well, Rene Gironte, you don't really want to make these mistakes because one, he is battle tested, he's still a winner, and he's fought some credible opponents, and he can crack very hard. Daruis Fulghum is fighting some dude. His name is Chris Pearson, who's only lost to very good fighters, guys like Carlos Gongora. Just a little recap: who just fought on Pro Box versus Martinez, an undefeated knockout artist from Argentina, and he also, lost to Trevor McCumbee. But if you look at these fights, like Darius Fulghum has never been in these type of matchups. Some fighters that they lost and have a record of 17-4 or 24-3, and people write them off. But when you put them up against prospects like Darius Fulghum and guys like Kid Austin that have a little bit of momentum or a look or a charm, and they have the backing of a certain promoter, today might be, that situation where, bro, just worry about your roster and your matchmaking before you start criticizing everybody else that are in 50-50 fights. So one of the things that I've only talked about bad about Golden Boy, and we talked about like 2 hours ago, is that he don't really put real fights. His fighters, while limited, he can't really put them in really tough fights because, it allows for his roster to even lose. And he doesn't have that opportunity because his roster isn't gigantic where it's just like, they're dispensable. No, he has to essentially try to match make them and market them as if they're Floyd Mayweathers and always build that undefeated roster. He saw it with Zurdo, William Zepeda. They have a lot of filler fights, even though these are really good fighters. He can't really risk them putting in 50-50 fights like Eddie Hearn. Now, with that being said, I don't know if it was the Mexican G or Mexican boxing #1, he goes a step further. He goes, I even think Gabriela Fondora is going to lose to Chucky Alanis. Now, what do you know, Drew, Speed and Drew? I know you guys know more about the women boxing and stuff like that. Do you guys see that? Do you think Gabriela Fondora, the tall sister, younger sister of Sebastian Fondora, do you think she gets upset in the disputed fight versus Gabriela Alanis from Argentina?
She's tough.
Yeah, she's tough. Alanis is tough, but
Yeah.
I think what's her name? Gabriella is gonna win. I believe she will go the distance. Yeah, she'll go the distance. Alanis will actually make her work a little harder. She is a come forward chick that's willing to swing with
Mhm.
you. And yeah, I just feel like Gabriella has to be careful. She can't be careless. But this chick, she always goes the distance. Like she always, so she knows how to win the
Yeah.
round, to her advantage, and they're only 2-minute rounds. So
Yeah, yeah.
she's going the distance. Easy dub for her. Should be.
For Gabriela?
Yeah.
You think if she gets caught with a punch, she'll just use her height and jab and 1-2
Yeah.
from the outside?
Yeah.
Jab away.
Yep.
Jab away.
I
She knows
think
how
that
to-
would be the more wiser thing. But
Yeah.
sometimes, man, that Fondoro family, they get on cruise control. And I don't know about La Chucky if she packs a punch or not. I did see a couple of fights with Marlon Esparza, but again, I don't really be like, oh man, I gotta really watch this. I always look at it like this. When it comes down to betting, I look at the prospects. That's where I feel like I can hit because it's very close. It's not common to see guys like Bivol at the top level, like up against guys like Canelo Alvarez, where those fights are gonna happen, and the bookies get it wrong. You don't really see fighters like that get tested. You sometimes see it with Bud Crawford and the guy Israel Madrimov. That's a good fight to bet on, because of certain factors. And same thing with Bivol and Canelo. You don't really see that at the elite level because in the bookies, like Arrow versus Bud Crawford, they're gonna have it at 1-1 ratios, But so that's why I try to capitalize and keep my eye to the grindstone when I see these prospects fighting their true tests.
Yeah.
I feel like all of these fighters that you guys mentioned, I'm not disagreeing with it. I'm actually in agreement. I believe that a lot of them are going to be upset tonight. Starting with Darius Fulghum, you might see it with Floyd Schofield versus Renette Yes. You might see it with Lachuki and Gabriela Fondora. And then Drew was saying Eric Tudor versus Gabriel or something, Harold Letterman.
Harold Calderon.
Harold Letterman. I try to get away with that.
Harold Calderon.
Yeah, Harold Calderon. The only thing is I don't really like too much that one because Calderon is like 37 years old. But I like Eric Tudor.
You guys really like talking English or Spanish. It's called Calderon.
Calderon. Escándalo.
Calderon. Hey, we're in America, guys. No, listen,
I'm up for
Fundora
this.
is Fundora is gonna win, but Alanis, she can actually upset her because Alanis is very tough. She's very durable. I think no one better said it than Mexican boxing when he says Argentines are tough in female boxing. Yep, I would agree. In female boxing, they very much are very tough, and in fact, in all types of boxing, they're very tough. But in female, they really stand out. They have enough numbers and people with reputations there to actually stand out. So I do agree with that. It'll be a very, very tough fight, but Alanis really does have to hurt and possibly stop Fundora because Fundora can make it a stinker if she wants to, right? Um, Darius Fulghum. Look, I don't know who his opponent is. I think I've seen him fight before. I've seen Darius Fulghum. I promoted the guy. I was elevating the guy. Was trying to bring guys to his fight when he had his debut with the Golden Boy, the last fight, because he has the potential to be somebody. He's a good-looking guy that looks a lot like somebody like Shane Mosley Jr., but he also fights a lot like Shane Mosley Jr. And by that, I mean, that they have the physical attributes, that they have the athleticism, and they have that it factor. If they exploit it, they can make something out of their career. But then that very first fight that I saw, it's not that he looked bad, he just didn't look good. He just looked flat. And I don't think he has that explosiveness, that thing that'll push him ahead than where he is right now. Oscar really should try to promote this guy a little better, but he should prep him, match him a little better. And I think this fight will bring that dog out of him. Maybe have him dig into his bag of tricks to bring out something else besides than what we saw the first fight, because he looked very flat to me. I do agree that he looks very, very beatable. Now, in the case of Floyd Schofield Jr., who is my favorite, maybe more so than Abdullah Mason or Emiliano Vargas, right?
No.
Because but that's because you want those guys to win. I'm just saying I've watched this guy fight way more than those other guys, and he's always excited me. Is he flawed? Absolutely. Does he always get himself cut and headbutted and stuff like that? Absolutely. He's the next. I think Homie Ricky said it best. He's the next Sean Porter, and who didn't like Sean Porter? This guy always comes to fight, but the yes is a very, very tricky fighter. Now, I don't remember him very well because I didn't have time for looking at his fights again to say, oh yeah, I remember this guy. But homie Ricky reminded me of a couple of things right there about his fighting style, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that sounds like trouble. Now we do know that Schofield had a very hard outing versus a very dirty fighter about 5 months ago.
His
This
last couple fights have been tough, where he's received either cuts on his face.
Yeah, and a lot of them are instigated because of his own fighting style, right? He's very
Right.
come forward. He goes head first to trying to get the power from the explosiveness off of his feet, that catapult punch. But what I'm saying is that he has had tough fights. He has suffered some, wear and tear as a result of that. The last fight, I don't hold it against because, again, it was a disqualification, if I'm not mistaken, because the the Dominican, he was very dirty, very, very dirty. And I'm surprised that Ismail Salas allowed him to fight so dirty. He should have cut it and nipped it at the bud and told him, hey, bro, let's win this one clean because you're going to get disqualified. And this is a big chance right here at probably the biggest fight that you had. Unfortunately, he couldn't temper that kid's aggression and his disrespect for Schofield. But I hope that Schofield learned from that because there are going to be fighters, just like Ben Whitaker learned, are going to be fighters that don't care about making it clean, don't care about rabbit punching you. They don't care about being dirty if the third man in the ring is not going to do his job. So he better come through in this fight because everything that Oscar has said is that he has to impress. The Darius Fulghum has to impress. That Sebastian Fundora's sister Gabby has to impress. He said the same thing that the Mexican G said. He said, whoever wins is going on to bigger things. Guys, he says that their job is not to make it a stinker and win. He says it's to go out there and make it aggressive and entertain people. That means he doesn't care who wins or loses. He just wants a hell of a fight. Golden Boy Promotions is likely going to be the promotion that's going to set all of their fighters going forward the toughest. They will have a lot of upsets. And I do believe the quote unquote curse of the losing fighter is going to start going against Golden Boy because everything leads me to think that Golden Boy, all he wants is incredible action packed fights, irrespective of who wins. And I think I agree with that notion.
Yeah, I mean, for as overall, like those fights that go under the radar that Golden Boy has, like fights that come to mind, Luis Neri versus Azat Hadatosians, those kind of fights, they're really good fights, that catch us under the radar and you're like, damn. So this is one of those night cards tonight that we're going to see fights like that and performances like that with the roster. Usually, Golden Boy does, 85% of the time when you see a Golden Boy promotion, the in-house fighter should win the time. But because he doesn't really have that leniency just to like, oh, let me just put these fighters always in tough fights because his roster isn't that big. Now, if he had a roster like PBC and in which he did have when he was at Showtime, you always saw great fucking fights, tough fights, almost back to back to back to back. And but yeah, man, I'm gonna read some of these comments because they're very interesting. So he goes, let me see. Mexican Boxing goes, the Mexican G goes, man, that's the white boy curse. Nah, Darius ain't for sure. He losing. He's nothing special. Haney, B Hop, and Anthony Darrell all said the same. They wouldn't lose to a white boy, and they did. That's the white boy curse. He goes, Argentines are tough in female boxing. They pull upsets constantly. Oscar even said whoever wins is going on to better things, making it sound like he will give the winner bigger fights himself. Son los no sabo kids. I wanted Kid Austin to win because he's Golden Boy's best fighters to build him up. And he's a likable fighter. But not fight night. It's not going to happen. I want Rene to win because he is Mexican. Come on, Rene. Another contender at a lightweight like Omar Salcedo on Pro Box TV. We will have another one. I'm rooting for Rene because he's Raza, but most likely outcome is Schofield is winning. Yup. But I honestly feel like Oscar looked for Rene because just in case Kid Austin loses, then he will sign Rene right away like he did with Camarón Zepeda. Now, who did Zepeda beat that was on Golden Boy's stable?
No idea.
That's a smart business move. A scummy one, but it's smart. And the Mexican flag, the best. And I want Rene to win. He can do it. He deserves the promotion. His style is better suited for Golden Boy anyway.
Well,
versus match in PBC too. I think Hector Tanahara. Oh, that's right. Yeah, but Tanahara was he was already on the decline. He was like Darius Fulghum, where like he was a highly touted prospect. I don't know if Darius Fulghum. I don't think he had that much amateur fights, but Hector Tanahara he did in the amateurs. And Robert Diaz, Robert Garcia, he had a big stable of influx of prospects that he was signing, and they had a lot of hype. ESPNs, they were doing a really good co-promotional distribution deal that they had. And Hector Tanahara was like, "Oh man, he's giving good sparring." But when you saw him, like Steve said, he was flat. Couldn't have a knockout artist like 5'11" with a lanky jab, but just couldn't knock dudes out. And then next thing you know, Zepeda just came out of the woodworks with a stellar knockout ratio and boom, just bounced on the kid. And it was horrible. And yeah, man, to that point, you've never seen him. So yeah, to your point, yeah, man, I always feel like Golden Boy does have these moments and situations where he notices, man, these guys aren't progressing 17 fights in. You don't really see something special. You see that charm, you see that look that gave Flores from Stockton, but you're like, bro, they're not really getting into that grown man strength. So then you start seeing, are they training hard? Are they sparring, not up to par? Are they just good at sparring because they can use their flash and their movements? But once you take that headgear off, you're a fighter. So yeah, man, it's gonna be very interesting to see. Again, I'm not wishing these men, to lose. I'm just saying, as a betting man, there are some previous signs that you look at repetitive behavior from these matchmakers and these promotional companies where they do get it wrong, and there's some telling factors where the hardcore or casuals might overlook, or the bookies, and be like, man, the algorithm got it wrong because if I look at this record and this resume, they don't know. So yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting. The Mexican goes, man, who's got a bird?
Yeah, I do. I do. I do. That's funny, guys. Oh, there you go. Now they're going crazy. All you said is bird, and then all of them started going crazy.
They
I
got the
made.
spotlight.
I uploaded a video by the Screaming Madman, right? And I swear, I swear, there's this one spot that it doesn't even sound like a bird goes. He doesn't even sound like a bird, but there's a little chirp, like a right? And then some commenter said, "Whoa, was that a bird in the background?" I'm like, "Bro, you guys are so good at this." But you know what, guys? Listen, this weekend is a promising one. I have no dog in this fight between whether Renee or Floyd wins. All I can say is I really like Floyd Schofield, right? As a kid, as a young individual, he's very respectful. I know his dad is very clownish. I know his dad is his barker, but as far as Floyd, he's very humble. I know he has this. He starts fights with fighters like Shakur Stevens and who I think he may have once called out Abdullah Mason. I know he likes to say that he'll beat him and everything like that. That's just a fighter in him. But once it gets down to brass tacks, he's a very humble individual that answers questions respectfully towards the people that are interviewing him, and he keeps his nose clean. He is the opposite of somebody like Javante Tank Davis. He's the opposite of somebody like Shakur Stevens, who it puts on a stinker. This young fella, he actually goes over there, comes to entertain, keeps his head down, and I like that because in the stable of Gold Boy, like you guys may have hinted at, their stable of black fighters is not deep. And that is unfortunate because I do know the history of Oscar De La Hoya's promotion. It does have access to the Mexican American, the Chicano, the Hispanic base, but that does not have to be the case because then you start to become a niche. Is the Mexican Latino niche the greatest? I do think so. I do think so. I think they are the most exciting fighters. I think they are the most reliable fighters. I think they are the more humble fighters, right? But we can introduce our fighting culture, our fighting spirit to our black brothers. We can introduce that fighting culture and spirit to our white brothers. And we know there's white fighters in Los Angeles. We know there's black fighters in Los Angeles. He can become a powerhouse like he was once when he had the Charlos, when he had the Spences, when he had the Deontay Wilders. He does not have to corner himself and say, I'm the Brown Company. He can say, I'm the Fighters Company, right? So
And when did
Floyd
that become a
Schofield,
thing, though? When
Floyd
did that become?
Schofield, I
That
don't
was
know,
like
but Floyd Schofield means
that's
so.
when they're like being divisive, like, oh, Golden Boy don't treat fighters well and shit like that.
I don't know, but Floyd Schofield and Darius Fulghum do mean a lot for Golden Boy. If they win, maybe black folk will start trusting in Oscar and not going by what Spence and the Charlo said, oh, he didn't treat us right, or we
No,
wanted
the
the
Charlos
Canelo
said
fight.
that they treated him well. The Charlos always said that they didn't even want to leave Golden Boy. The only thing was that they couldn't promise him the Canelo fight, so they went elsewhere and got the bag with PBC. Errol Spence was the one that started opening his fucking mouth. That's the only thing that I dislike about Errol Spence is like, bro, I'm pretty fucking sure you're not talking about your experience because I'm pretty sure they fucking loved you when you were over there, dude. So that was some bullshit. But Errol Spence gets what he does. He has a big mouth and people shut it up for him. That's the only thing I didn't like about Errol Spence. But aside from that, that's still my dude.
Yeah, that last thing I will say before I head on out. Now that the Mexican G is talking about it, he brings up something that I spoke about a long time ago. He says actually our gente has a history with birds. The Aztecas believed that hummingbirds were reincarnated warriors. So when before I made this
The
channel
real.
and focused before I made this in my own channel focused on pugilism, I was gonna start a channel on just pure Chicano history, right? The the folklore, the beliefs of the Aztecs, how they may have some relevance, some significance in the modern day of age, and I was also going to talk about the mice of the Chicano because that's where we're headed, guys. You know, for anybody that needs to hear, the Chicano bit by bit, year by year, is dying out. And anything that remains is just a semblance of it, just symbols that represent what kind of power we once had, what kind of unity we once had, what kind of pride we once held, right? Now, when you think of a Chicano, you just think about whether you crease your pants or you have a lowrider, right? It's deeper than that. And I was once going to focus on all of those things, but you know what? There was nobody that had that interest in following me for those kind of things. Nobody. And I wrote a story about the hummingbird, right? And the Quetzalcoatl. And I thought, okay, nobody is talking about these things. Not the scholars, not the anthropologists. Nobody is interpreting the stories of old and providing them relevance now. In fact, one of the reasons why the Aztecs did not survive is because they lacked the creativity to expand and develop their gods, right? So then, with the white man's god, Christ, and whoever else there, the four horsemen of the apocalypse came over there. Those stories were more involved. Those stories were more fully realized and applied into a human element. That's what the significance of Jesus was. That when they compared it to their own stories, they gave up the spirit. Right? The Aztec started to die out as soon as the white man was introduced. And with every generation without a fight or something to strike against, there really is no need for anybody to identify as Chicano, unfortunately. And no matter who I try to talk to, no matter how many ears I try to pull and say, we're dying, you don't understand, we're dying, they're saying it's okay. It's okay. Now, I don't know if that is true or not, but the story of the hummingbird, now that you reminded me of it, I might just expound on it. I might just have to dig through the my chronicles, find it, maybe put a couple of images behind it to give it a little more spark, a little more vitality. But we were something special once.
You guys
And
want an
if
update?
yeah, go for it,
Yeah,
whatever.
update. Man.
So right now, they're introducing. It looks like, fuck. I'm this is the live card right now. They're introducing them right now. It's a dude with something James. Okay, so we got James Osborne versus Edwards right now. You know they're fighting right now. You know I got money on the line on this one. Uh, let's see. I got this guy going. Oh, I got the fight going the distance, so it's gonna be a boring fight. But hopefully not though. No, I just wanted to update you guys.
Okay, for sure. And then you said this is on TNA, TNT Sports on
Yeah, I'm watching.
for Frampton and the Zone.
Yeah, I'm watching on no, it's on it's not the zone. It doesn't say the zone. It's TNT Sports, but I got it through crack streams.
Oh, okay, for sure. Yeah, I gotta check it out.
Crack
Yeah,
streams.
no. Do you know when the fights start?
Uh Probably, oh, let me see. It says right here.
Because I think the Zone and Eddie Hearn and Matchroom they have their own fights, and then there's the Golden
Yeah.
Boy one.
So yeah, so this right here is the fight that I'm watching right now is the undercard of Elam Davies versus Shabazz Masood. That's on TNT Sports. And that one right there, that one started at 12. Um, but that was, I'm guessing that was like the first fight of the card. And then at 3, no, that's Eastern time. So at 2:45, you have the ESPN fights. Uh that's the undercard on that at 2:45, and then uh the Floyd Schofield versus Renee Giron the DAZN card. It's that starts at 5. So that fight probably starts later on. The main event at least, which obviously tonight. But yeah, that TNT card, that one's gonna end the earliest. Like it's gonna like it'll probably be done by like 3 or 4, like 3 or 4. But yeah, the fights start in 2 hours. So as
Oh,
far as
okay,
like
yeah. I was
yeah.
gonna say because I have right here on Bovada, they have Jordan Fuentes, right? He's from like Merced, and he's
Mhm.
gonna be fighting on the Golden Boy undercard, non-televised portion, or maybe televised.
Wow, that's so. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. So the
Yeah,
non-televised just means that they're going to be having it on the Golden Boy YouTube channel.
I think so. And they might be televised. I just don't know of it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll have it on the Golden Boy Promotions channel. But yeah, Jordan Fuentes is at fighting at 2 p.m. and then it's followed with Chantel Cameron at 2:30. So I'm kind of curious to see what the DAZN thing looks like.
I got
Chantel Cameron.
yeah,
Wow.
I got Chantel going the distance. That's easy money, bro. So this is look, let me tell you this parlay right here.
Wow.
Easy money, bro. The easiest money. Just like picture Gabriela Fondor over damn, they're both Gabriela. Gabriela Alanis is Fondora to go the distance is minus 340. You add that with Milakuziev
Yeah.
knockout minus 300. So you got a minus 340, minus 300, and then Chantel Cameron minus 400 by decision, and then Jan Santana money line minus 1100. All that is plus 135. That's super solid money. Nah.
I mean, it's the favored outcomes. But like Mexican boxing #1 says, bro, Gabriel Alanis might just win. I don't. I
Damn.
mean, he has 2 or 3 of the belts. But yeah, I mean, when I did the bet earlier, that's what I put. But I'm not exactly too sure. The Mexican G goes, it's a sad reality, but our gente is dying out. Our young, they have no interest in keeping our culture alive. So yeah, man. I mean, I'm not saying that they're dying out, but this is what happens, and it's a modern thing, and it's a modern world problem where everybody like what our gente means. It could be like Japanese culture, Japanese people accepting your culture now, and they honor it more of like, oh, that's the creed and the principle and the disciple type of shit. And then vice versa. Like people change their cultures because now you have access to different varieties, and then people just kind of like fit what they fit for themselves. You get what I'm saying? So, like in terms of like a Mexico thing, like yeah, possibly because like the culture, and even businesses, they try to sell you different metrics, and it's ultimately up to the veterans, right? To keep that style and that intellect and the tradition going. Maybe like our grandmothers and our moms, they cook mole and all of these good foods, right? Pozole and menudo. But if I ask you, hey, the Mexican G, do you know how to make it yourself? Does your lady? And then you're like, well, nah, bro, we make like chicken Alfredo and stuff. And it's just like, man, sometimes you got to go back to your roots, and sometimes know your main dishes before you go to, you know what I mean? Like know thyself before you start like whatever's. But yeah, no, I think it just starts with just like what we see in ourselves and what we grew up with. We have to pass it on to the generations. And I feel like there's a lot of comments right now. Excuse me. And I apologize for all this excessive coffee, man. As you guys know, I'm a little under the weather, and this thing just persisted. But a lot of people are like, man, no one's really going out and trick or treating anymore. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not the kids' fault; it's the parents' fault. Because when we were kids, we were 20 people deep. Everybody had costumes, and you're walking with all your friends from school, girls in there, and you guys are walking and trick or treating with your cousins and everybody was going, and you're walking from like miles and going to the popular houses, and the people gave a to decorate their homes and make it nice and scary and give out some bomb candy. Now a lot of days people don't even decorate their homes. There's no solidarity. There's no orgullo. You know what I mean? And then the kids are gonna be like, "Oh man, I'm gonna play the new Fortnite. They have a Halloween edition. I'm gonna grind that out instead." And the pops are just right there with them, like, "Ah, no, we're not gonna dress down and spend money. We just don't play on the video games." It's the parents' fault. It's the modern parents' fault. You know what I mean? Like we always say, "Oh man, the good old days," and then just like, then how come you don't do that to your kids? Like, don't lose those traditions. Like, when's the last time that you had a water balloon fight? That used to be the shit. You used to crack people up, boom, and now people don't do that stuff anymore. So it is a dying tradition, but it's happening in every single situation that we were accustomed to growing up with. So it's not just like a Mexican thing, Like Lito say the same.
Yeah, no, it's deeper than that, homie Ricky. It's deeper. It's much deeper than that. But it is very easy, like how you hinted at, to
I think it's
remain
very
well, not the Chicano movement. That's very hard. It's very hard because
oh
the
yeah, well,
Chicano movement is all about work. It's all about a lucha. It's all about having something to fight. But there is an accomplishment at the end. It's not just a continuous fight and finding an enemy to dispute. No, that's not the case. It's whenever there was something to fight, we fought it with vigor, and we had a reward at the end. We had a concept called Aslan. It was known as Aslan, a mythological, fictional, or maybe realistic place where everybody that was Aztec or Mexican, Mexica, whatever, mostly for the Chicanos though, mostly for the Chicanos, um, we had an idea that we could realize paradise on earth. That's what Aslan was. A place that we could live in on this earthly sphere.
yeah. You talked about this multiple times in your channel.
But long story short, going back to the other stuff that's very important, right?
Yeah,
The other stuff that's very very important. Yeah. Well, anyways, that's about it. But all right. Well, yeah. All right, guys. I gotta call it a day. I'm gonna go mountain biking. But listen, if you want to just keep your Mexican roots, if you guys are Mexican, I'm not too sure. I know Mexican boxing has to be. The Mexican G has to be. Not too sure if Arimedi is, but anybody out there, if you guys are Mexican, it's real simple. Try to learn Spanish, and I know that it's the language of our conquerors. That's fine. The conquistadors, whatever. Hey, that's part of who you are now. But learn Spanish. Don't be a no sabo. And if you're a no sabo, guess what? Keep practicing. If you can, learn a what. Go back to even deeper roots. Yeah, go back and learn even deeper your roots and eat nopal, eat the cactus leaf, eat beans, eat corn. It's really that simple, guys. Go back to the roots. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna go mountain biking. I'm gonna see who's down to go and scrape myself. The other day, I really it took a pretty bad beating. I was coming down this new trail that I've never rode by it, right? But I knew that we took it the wrong way because we had to go up the whole way. And I told my son, wow, when we come back down here, because this thing is just very long and steep, we're not gonna make it all the way to the top, so we're probably gonna have to come down sometime, and it's gonna be dangerous. And he's like, yeah, I know, Dad. I know, Dad. As soon as we started to turn back to start riding it, I fell. Like I immediately started to slide down the hill, and I was like, oh. So I got myself up, gathered myself, said, okay, now that you're composed, start riding down. I started riding down, maybe a quarter of a mile or whatever, just new terrain, branches all over, grit all over. And then right when I made it right to the bottom, I pressed on my brakes just so that I can, my son was waiting for me down there. I started pressing my brakes. My stupid bike wouldn't give. The slope was just too steep. And I guess I pressed on my brakes too much and I flipped over the bike and I scraped myself real good on my knees and on my elbows and on my forearm. I still got the things to show, but it was very fun. And since I'm very stubborn, I'm going to go do it again. I have to conquer that trail right there. But I just wanted to remind you guys one last thing. You're probably asking yourself, how come you're Captain Kirk? How come you're not Warp Speed? Well,
no one's asking that.
We didn't ask
this
that.
guy right here. Okay, anyways, I'm going to be posting.
You're putting words in our mouth.
Now you guys are funny, man. So I'm gonna start posting non-boxing related oldies music to old romance, black and white films, and talking more about Chicano history. You'll probably get exclusives. It's gonna be a low channel. I'm not gonna promote it. You're gonna find it if you get it, but it's right there, Captain Kirk. Um, just find the guy that's dressed like a gangster with the fedora,
Actually,
and
I can give you one tip. Don't start a new channel. Just keep adding to the one that you already have.
yeah, but you know what? I don't want it to just be anything because I have people that I got into my channel, maybe like 50 people that subscribe to my channel because I on occasion do some WWE work, and I actually don't upload WWE that much, right? And then there's people that that I actually uploaded some lowrider oldies stuff, and I never post that kind of stuff there, right? Because again, it wasn't getting any traction. Nobody
But it
was
doesn't
interested.
matter. That's your channel. You know that it just encompasses everything. So just keep adding to your main one, and then like when you have your main one, then you do shorts of the long lives. Like if I was smart and a lot of people do it, then juxtapose. Like we've been going on for like 3 4 hours, which is crazy to me. But then I can pop the podcast 50 freaking videos and then just upload them on just the videos portions, just in case no one's gonna sit around listening to us ramble nonsense and we just hit the talking portion, boom, 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 boom. But that's what I'm saying. Like that's what you should do. Just continue. Like you have your length of music, just put it all on there. But
No, I just want to make it streamlined and simple. But anyways, guys, Captain Kirk, you'll probably find a couple of good oldies. I actually made a video by one of my non-oldie favorite bands called Houndsmouth. I matched it to an old Twilight Zone episode. And if I can admit to you something, if I can confess, not only am I proud of that video, it's less than 4 minutes long, but it actually made me cry. You just watch the story. Anyways, it's been a pleasure, guys. It's always fun. I love every single one of you all. I really approve of everybody coming over here, and I encourage you guys to engage. Mexican boxing number one. Good morning or good evening for you now. The Mexican G, I love you, bro. I hope you've been getting yourself back on your feet. I wish you luck of all, like always. I really do hope for you to get yourself back up on the right track, and I'll be there cheering you on, bro. Adi Medi, man, I'm not the only one that's told you you should go doing stand up, bro. You're incredibly funny. The homie Ricky, Dream123. I love you all, and I wish you a wonderful day.
later, man. I'm gonna read a
Get
couple.
out of here.
Or,
Nah,
I'm gonna read a couple of these comments. Drew, Mexican Boxing wants to know your insight. Why or who are you siding with? Jose Rayo Valenzuela or Jose Benavides Sr.?
So,
What's the issue first and foremost, and then what are you siding with?
because I watch TBV, you gotta love TBV, bro, because they're not they're not instigators. It's just they're so close to these guys, to Jose Benavides, and they know Rayo, because they go to like Robert Garcia's gym a lot.
Okay.
Not a lot as of recently, but they used to. But yeah. So Rayo dipped. Uh, so from the outside looking in, uh, he actually randomly just decided to say, "Hey, I'm not with him anymore." Like he posted without saying anything to Jose and nothing to David or anything like that. But I guess something was discussed weeks prior to that, but there wasn't no phone call, no message. He randomly just uh posted the day of because I guess what's his name had a Jose Benavides had a senior had a fight on Pro Box. I forget who it was. Like I forget it, but he had a fighter, and I guess one of TBV's reporters said, "Hey, did you hear the news?" And he goes, "What? What are you talking about?" And then he goes, "Rayo is splitting from you." And he goes, "What?" I guess. And then and I know this because the reporter called in and updated everyone, and and I guess he was like, "Oh, I don't know. I'll address it tomorrow, man. That's crazy." And then I guess he turned around and he told his, I don't know, his assistant, he's all, "What I tell you? I told you this was gonna happen." And so Jose had a hunch, or he knew something, like was up, but I guess he he wanted to, like, I guess Jose or Rayo was trying to leave him, and he said no, it's okay. I guess Jose was like, yeah, go ahead, you can be your manager. He goes, oh no, I want you to manage me still. So that's why you seen him in the corner when he fought Pitbull, and Robert Garcia was his trainer because he was still his manager. And I
Okay.
guess Ness from TVV, he messaged Rayo, and Rayo told him he's lying. He's lying. We agreed to this a long time ago, or something like that, and I guess Jose's like, bro, like not even a phone call, nothing like that. Just one random Wednesday, just decided to post. He posted and talked about the situation without like talking to him, or so
Okay.
that made Jose kind of come out as in like, yeah, let me know, guys, what's going on, because I have, so it's just weird. It's a little weird how they're both acting, I guess, like they're not
Yeah.
matching each other's story, but the Hunt, I guess he doesn't, I guess Jose said in an interview, like the day after that was he announced it. Jose was in an interview with TVV, said, oh, I guess I guess he didn't I don't know if he didn't like what I said when I seen him hella drunk at one of the press conferences at the, uh so I guess he was like, he seen him as not as focused, because he was like, with girls and shit. But I guess that was his girl, so that's why there's some kind of background thing to it, um so I guess he's questioning his dedication. But bro,
Um,
I like Jose Benavides, bro. He's someone I'd go hard for, especially since that he talks to Rayo like he's like his son, bro. So he's like and to this day he's still like there. It's all respectful. He's just, like that's like his son right there, bro. Like he could have adopted him, So they
right.
yeah. So he's from Mex. Let him live with him and all this shit, and fucking that's funny. But yeah, no, I guess he's told him all that, and they're just confused, bro. So
Got
yeah,
you.
yeah. So and then I guess he even he even said like, damn, like it's like that, all right, like type of shit. So I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
I hear you, Drew. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't know all the details, I know that I only know two things. That Jose, like Rayo had left him and he went with Robert Garcia, which was just a trainer switch. But I didn't know that he also managed Rayo's career. And then, it just came on Fight Hype that, oh, Rayo left I don't know, a tweet or whatever's that he goes, oh, I'm no longer managed or trained by Jose Benavides Sr. And, this guy's my trainer and this guy's my manager now or something like that. So I don't know too much, but the way I looked at it, and I think I might have watched one interview. Again, I don't really care too much about chismes and people leaving managers. What I care mainly about, like, you can do whatever it is that you want. Like, it's a decision. But what I like to see is how you go about ending a relationship, right? I think that's where it shows true character, true class, and more importantly, respect.
it doesn't matter,
You know
it
what I
doesn't
mean?
matter
I
where
really
you're
care
at.
about how you leave off on the note. I don't necessarily care if you swap trainers. I feel like more fighters should continue to do so because I want to pick the brain off, and like, okay, this guy thinks this way, this guy coaches certain things, and I want to enhance my game. I feel like that's fair play as long as you be like, hey, you set standards to your trainer. This is what I'm doing. This is what like. All right, bro, it's your career. I'm taking matters into my own hands. I feel like this is what's going to elevate my game. This is all cool. But when you don't say that to him in person, like when I stopped boxing to Coach Danny, I told Coach Danny, it's like, hey, Coach, thank you for, allowing me to continue to fight here and everything and give me a copy of the gym key. But I know I'm school starting, the university starting. I want to go down this road. If I still come to boxing, it's cool, but I think this is going to be it. And he was like, fuck, man. He was just like, fuck, But
Yeah, because it's like
but I
Jose.
told him,
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, it's like Jose, bro. Like Jose seems like he knows what he's doing. I know he's learning still, but it seems like he has, he goes about things in the right way. Like he won't just leave anybody hanging after they fight, bro. Like he looks at Jose like or Rayo like his son, bro. So I think he probably thought like, hey, this guy thinks some type of way about me, you know, like after he lost to De Los Santos. But I don't know, bro. Like I don't believe that, you know. I don't believe that. I feel like he rides with his, and honestly, like for him to be willing to say, hey, it's fine. I'm still I'll still manage you. Like you can go to another trainer. It complicates things, you know, and just because
Right.
you know, it complicates things just because it's like now you have to pay two different people, and you know it's like fuck, like you're just now you're doing that out of guilt. You're paying Jose out of guilt, you know, because you feel bad. You know, I don't know. It's a hard
Interesting.
situation, you know. So
Yeah.
it, it's
Yeah. I
uh
mean,
it's hard, bro. Like, cause I like both trainers, bro. I like both trainers. I think if I was Jose, I'd be like, I wouldn't even like, yeah, I'd feel some type of way, but for him to like leave for like Robert Garcia, like I wouldn't even like be mad. I'm like, that's probably he probably teach you some better shit. Like go for
smarter
it.
move. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like
Yeah. No, I
Tell Ruben,
completely agree.
I'll probably tell Ruben, yeah, go ahead, dude. Go. I mean, go to Robert Garcia. You know.
Absolutely, and not only that, it's the talent pool that Robert Garcia has and the experience. Like sometimes you're probably gonna have to spar Mikey Garcia because he's probably coming back from shooting his guns. You have access to Oscar Duarte, Hector Tanajara, a lot of these fighters, and Jose Rayo Valenzuela. He can spar David Benavides, but it's not gonna be hard quality sparring because David's not really gonna hit him hard. And same thing with Jose Jr. So, even just the resources that the Robber Academy has, of course, is going to be beneficial to Jose. But I didn't like what I didn't like about Jose was that tweet. It's just like, bro, you've been with this guy, like you said, almost a father figure, took you out of Seattle, took you all over here, gave you like food and home and stuff like that in Arizona, helped you build up. Maybe they got the whole Edwin de los Santos fight. But I remember watching a post-fight interview and Jose was like, hey, man, this guy was a good fighter. He got caught with a good shot. We'll learn from it, bounce back. He didn't make any excuses or like started distancing himself from it. I mean, I didn't see any of that.
Yeah.
With Jose, you started seeing Rayo. I'm gonna call Jose the father, and I'm gonna call Rayo just so we can distinguish because they're both.
Yeah. Yeah.
With Rayo, it just seemed like he started distancing himself from them, or mainly from the father. And you kind of see a little bit with David Benavides. You see him, training with Cubans and Guillermo Rigondeaux. But I always felt like, Jose Sr., he's always been like, no, guys, like bring in these fighters, bring in Coach Memo Heredia. So he's always open-minded. He doesn't seem like he's an unreasonable dude. I think Rayo is just honestly in his feelings. And he's showing to be very young. And the way how he handles these matters, Again, if you're gonna cut somebody off, you cut somebody off, and I'll let you know. Now, if you did something despicable to me, I don't have to tell you nothing. The reason I don't pick up your fucking text is because shit, you should know. I don't have to explain myself so I can fucking talk to you. You know what's up. So I can't really speak about that Rayo situation because I don't really know too much of the matters. I think the Mexican boxing or the Mexican G saying something about the woman. I'm not exactly too sure if they got too handsy with one another or too drunk or some shit might have slipped up or maybe he spanked ass. I don't know, bro. I don't know too much about all this
Well,
stuff.
no, I feel it feels nah. Jose wouldn't. Jose's like a married man, bro. Like Rayo, like I think it was more like his coach speaking a little too loosely about his Rayo situation or some shit. You know, Rayo situation as in like the girls he's getting with or the girls he's choosing and shit. And his he did mention in the interview him being drunk. Like he did mention him being drunk. He didn't say a lot, a little
The
bit. He
father
said
or Rayo being drunk?
Rayo being drunk.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
like I said,
Rayo,
I'm sure that's probably what happened, And then but yeah, let's see. The Mexican G goes, Jose is a questionable coach. He once said in an interview that he lets David train himself. He said that nothing more he can teach him. That's a wild statement because David makes a lot of mistakes. That is a wild
yeah.
statement. And honestly,
Yeah.
that's very believable because,
Mhm.
like, at sometimes, and I can understand where that statement comes from because sometimes there is everything that I can teach you. I have a bunch of nephews and nieces, and a few of them have lived with me during a period of time. And like, there's only so much information that I can give you in terms of what I experienced, whether going to jobs or colleges or whatever the case may be. And then I just give them all the information that I possibly know. And then at the end, it's just like, now you just choose your path. And I mean, I gave you all the wisdom and guidance that has helped me along the way. I can't really tell you any more else. You should probably already know it, before I sound like a repetitive record. So I can see where that statement comes from. And then you'd be like, David now is an adult. He knows what he needs to do, and he knows everything. And a coach knows that. Now, a coach, you don't really want him to admit stuff like that, because there's so much that a coach can learn. If you stop learning, that's a tribute and a recipe for disaster, because you're not constantly growing. And once you stop constantly growing, you better have mastered your craft. And to your point, Mexican G, yeah, David makes a lot of mistakes. So if you can't coach him anymore and you don't see those flaws, you might not be the guy that's going to be able to take him leaps and bounds to become a champion. And that's what Memo Heredia was able to do. And that's why David Benavides knocked out Demetrius Andrade. Ever since you guys let him go, he hasn't been able to get those knockouts. So, it starts with the strength and conditioning, the discipline of the table, not just a father figure, but man, a teacher, a guide, a mentor, all of these things. If you're going to be able to be a manager, a trainer working the cutman corner, bro, you're limiting yourself to too many tasks when there's better people out there. And that's why you're always supposed to surround yourself with smarter people or qualified people in every other areas that you're incapable of doing. That's how you build a really strong team. But yeah, man, I think they're going to get it wrong. I'm not too sure about the David Morrell. That's a really tough fight right there for both guys. But I would favor David Benavides. He's more experienced at 175 in the last fight with Alexander Volstik. It showed me that he's learning, but he still doesn't see that, bro, you're overcompensating for the lack of size and power when you're the smaller man, so just use your hand speed. David Morrell, even though he didn't look as dominant against that guy, Hot Rod Radmajov, he still looked much more poised, but he was forcing the knockouts. Like, sometimes, bro, these guys have been in there with some good fighters like Artem Beterbiev. You don't punch harder than them, so you just got to box. And that's what David needs to do, too. It's like, you're going to be the smaller dude in this weight class, so box and fight properly and smart. The Mexican, she goes, yeah, bro, I'm 5'10". I'm not super tall, but I'll knock you out. Nah, he didn't say that. But what does that say? Oh, because Mexican goes, yeah, people always say Mexicans are short when we're not nowhere near 6 foot tall and strong. And even if we're 5'6", we still look like Apocalypto build. Okay, so that's where that comment comes from. They disrespected Rayo on those ring ratings. That's crazy. They put him at number 10. Yeah, I mean, well, because I would say this. I didn't think he beat Pitbull Cruz. That type of style, that's how Shakur would fight. And I've never loved and respect Shakur's boxing style when he starts doing like that. I didn't think he won.
Yeah, but Shakur does it.
Los Santos. And I didn't think Rayo beat Pitbull Cruz like that way at all. I don't, whatever, You gotta do what you gotta do, though. He said he's not coming to the gym anymore. And the girls he's with probably feel the type of way, and they made Rayo feel obviously the type of way as well. Wait, they disrespected Ramos ratings. He said he's not coming back to the gym anymore, and the girls he's with probably feel the type of way. And Rayo feel whatever. I still got David beating Morrell. David needs to add more to his arsenal. There are a lot of Morrell fans really confident in skills to overcome. He's supposed to just come forward, David. They're not really caring how bad he looked versus Hot Rod. Nah, Cap, disagree big time. You're in the minority. Rayo was hitting him with nasty uppercuts. He clearly outboxed him 8-4. He hardly got hit clean double. Yeah, I mean, you got to look at it like this. Rayo is like 5'11", 5'10". He's tall. Of course he's going to use his height. But look at the quality of punches that he threw. A lot of them were blocked. And almost instantly, when Rayo landed an uppercut, like when he hurt, and he didn't wobble, but he kind of stunned Pitbull Cruz with the uppercut. Watch that same round, that same moment, Pitbull immediately threw like 3 or 4 punches. They weren't flush, but he immediately got some points back.
Bro, I'm agreeing. I'm agreeing with Mexican boxing number one. Like, I think
you saw Rayo easily winning.
Yeah,
That doesn't look easily winning. When fighters
Not
fight like
easily
that, I
winning.
know because I box like that at times.
Not
I
easily.
don't feel I'm easily winning. I feel like, oh shit, I don't want to stand there toe to toe and engage with this dude because he has these hooks that I'm not seeing. So I'm gonna just keep my distance and I'm gonna move and box like Erislandy Lara. Don't tell me that he looked fucking A4 and then tell me that Lara didn't beat Canelo. Because you
Yeah,
guys
but he
go
was
down a slippery slope
beating
and
him.
you guys can't tell me that because
But I feel like Rayo was beating him in the like points, bro. Like he was out touching him, and what's his name? Pitbull was exerting his energy on hooks when Rayo was straight down the line, and he was touching him way more, bro. I know Rayo, got hit with some good ones and made his, Pitbull was actually kind of making Rayo like reset his footing a lot, but he was actually out touching him, moving around a lot, and he showed Gene ring generalship.
and then excessive clinching as well.
But he did not excessive. It wasn't excessive.
Were there more than one clinch, two clinches per round?
I
There
don't
was
know.
at least like 6 clinches per round, bro. That's a total of 72 clinches, bro.
But that was Pitbull. Like Pitbull was like coming in close, and he was just right there for the hug.
Nah, man. People criticize David on his last performance, but he won every round. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, he looked mediocre winning the round, and then you just saw Vostek not throwing enough, blocking almost all of them, and then hitting in between. And then you saw David lean up against the ropes getting touched. So I think if Vostek were to fight him again, I think Vostek would win if Canelo and Eddie Reynoso would be like, bro, you can knock David Benavidez the fuck out. Just you're stronger than him, you're bigger than him, you throw better punches, you bend in with bigger punchers. He's gonna throw a lot of punches, but they ain't gonna hurt. This guy's not a knockout artist. You do this, you'll knock him out. I feel like Vostek really gave that fight up just because he wanted to cover. And then he wasn't throwing enough, and he was like Peter panning. And it's like, even with the Peter pans, you were able to cause some inflammation and swelling to David's face, but not really muster up and throw hard shots. Vostek, I know he's been inactive, but last year in 2023, he fought 3 times. Most of them were in Canelo undercard. But I felt like he should have mustered up and really tried to take it to David. I think he would have beaten him, but kind of seemed a little dubious. But whatever's. Watch the fight again. After round 5, Rayo was styling on him. Rayo clearly outboxed Pitbull. He was sticking and moving. They're different fights, no comparison, dude.
I just made the bets. I made the bets.
Yup, he was doing zigzags, looking like a fool. Glad we all agree. Yeah, man. Look, man, I'm about to make some food. Appreciate you guys spending. So hopefully, these upsets happen. Again, they're upsets. I'm winning the lottery. As I say all these things that I'm vouching for, Rene Gironte, yes, and Chris Pearson. What if they get knocked out, But it's going to be like, shit. But yeah, man, I got to get some food in my system. I've been really sick, so I can't really hold it down. I eat a burger or anything, man. I just throw it up. The only thing that seems to liquid and tene manzanita, bro. Like that's the only thing that's keeping me alive, honestly. And just apple a day, keep the doctor away. You should do a live chat fight sometime. We did do one. Drew was there. I forgot for what fight, Drew. But then my dog, my puppy, little freaking snot nose, little poodle, fucking got untangled with the charger, and I had to spend like $300 to fix my laptop. So
Damn.
I have to have like a proper setup because we do like I want to say like fight parties, but we have mom and dad, friends, nephews, everybody watching in the living room, kind of like the old school days. So it gets a little crowded. But yeah,
and everyone gets to talk.
Bam Bam Rodriguez fight. Yeah, I think it was against Sonny Edwards. I think you might be right. or the Gallo Estrada. I think it was Gallo Estrada. Yeah, you might be right. But so I don't know. I would have to do a proper setup, bring some tables around so I can have the computer there and some microphones. But then that would be like studious. It wouldn't just be like spontaneous, and it would be like very official. But yeah, guys, I gotta get some food in my belly. But yeah, guys, happy Saturday, happy weekend. Enjoy the fights. Hopefully, you know, Floyd Schofield proves me wrong and he wins. Same thing with Daruis Fulghum, and the Golden Boy curse doesn't become a theme. But, you know, as we've known, when fighters don't focus on their fight, Bud Crawford said it perfectly to Jose Benavidez Jr. Focus on your fight for you not make it to your fight. So, you know, Floyd Schofield be talking a lot about Shakur Stevenson. You know, bro, you got a real dog about Renete Yes. Talk about him. You should be laser focused like Bivol. I don't watch movies. I don't watch other boxing fights because I need to have all my emotion to my opponent. It get a little tough. It's really good. Whatever. I'll give you prediction after. That's how Floyd Schofield should be. You got a real dog in you, bro. And this dude's coming to fight. He knocks people out. He's seen it with better prospects like Carlos Valderas. You know, he not coming there fearing you. You know, Rene, he's going lights, bro. Lights. Camera action. He's fighting till the end. So if Floyd Schofield can somehow put the lights out on Rene Gironte, I'm a believer. And he passed his real test. Now, Daruis Fulghum, I'm going to be a little more like with the fighter that he's fighting, Chris Piersoon, because Chris Piersoon, the only problem is he don't let his hands go. But he's been in there with much better fighters, stronger punchers, so he should be able to beat Daruis Fulghum and probably stop him. But, you know, it's easier said than done. But the film tape don't lie, and as long as these guys do their work, man, we're going to be in for a hell of a night. But, yeah, guys, the Mexican G, Adi Medi, Mexican Boxing #1, Speed, Drew, thank you guys for chopping it up with me on Saturday. It was a lot of fun. I don't know how we managed to talk for 4 hours, but we did. Holy snaps. But, yeah, guys, see you guys on the next one. Any closing words for you, Drew?
No, man, let's get this money.
Yes, sir. Good luck to you guys, man. And, yeah, see you guys on the próxima.
All right, man.
Peace.